Naruto is still the village idiot. The only difference is that he learned more than the shadow clone jutsu from a scroll of seals. If Naruto wasn't an idiot, none of the techniques he had learned would be deadly. If used by anyone else, he'd be almost unstoppable. But it's Naruto. Oh, and I already have the story planned out. It will be huge in length. And since it's planned out, if you want to know a few spoilers, that won't exactly ruin it for you because it won't tell you how it'll happen, then feel free to message me. Edit. It's been years since this has been uploaded, so while I still have this planned in my head, I'm most likely going to change the future I originally had. And why, for the love of God, did I think that giving spoilers was good? This is also my first FIC. Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto or anything Naruto related. It was another peaceful day in Kanahagakure. What was that, of course, was before people found out Naruto painted the Hokage monument, and Naruto came to shout from behind him. Naruto darted away. He saw that his academy sensei, Irika Yumino, was chasing right behind him. He ran through the village that he had memorized like the back of his hand, trying his best to avoid his sensei. He just couldn't understand why he could flee every other ninja in the village except Irika. Oh, why is it you're always the one to catch me? Huh, why is that Irika's sensei? He said after he eventually got caught up with. Naruto, that's not the point. Now would you like to tell me? He stopped, then his whole calm figure changed and yelled, "Why you're not in the academy right now?" All right, about that. After saying that he was gone, running in the wrong direction. Academy. Iriko walked back to the academy, and when he got there, he found Naruto in his seat. How is he here? He ran the opposite way, and if he went back the right way, I would have saw him. Irika thought, amazed, but decided that was a thought for another time. Sorry I'm late to class. Irika apologized. There was another Naruto incident. That baka, Sakura shouted out. Naruto got a lot of looks of disgust from his classmates. For now, I'm giving you all 30 minutes training time for tomorrow's graduation exam. Irika then looked at Naruto. Naruto, can you stay back for a few minutes? I need to talk to you. Naruto gulps, not knowing what is going to happen. Everyone then left the class, leaving Naruto alone in the class with Irika, who was probably going to scold him. Irika decided to start, so Naruto, you got no proof it was me that painted the monument, Naruto interrupted. Irika gave Naruto a kind smile, then continued to say what he had to say. Naruto, this isn't about that. But after class today, me and you're going to visit Hokage-sama about a few things. Confused Naruto asks, and then what are we here for? Well, I'd just like to ask how it is you're capable of hiding from A and B you in bright clothes, and also how are you able to outrun them? Naruto tries to think of a way to say it. Oh well, when you have mobs of villagers and ninja trying to catch you for as long as you can remember, you learn to be fast. Irika felt bad for the kid in front of him, whom he used to hate and blame for his parents' death. If he has anything near the demon fox, he'd have taken action to all the shit he's taken. He truly believes that if anyone takes any time to actually get to know Naruto, they'd see he's a pure soul. Naruto, what I came to talk to you about is your stealth and speed. He pauses, which is better than the average jonin. Naruto checked if. How is it possible for someone that's not even a genin be better than a jonin at something? That's the ninja world for you, Irika replied with a smirk. Well, Naruto, after class, me and you're going to have a meeting with Hokage-sama. Irika waved Naruto off to go and join his class, and found himself in deep thought wondering about the wonders Naruto could do if he were to actually harness these skills. At the Hokage office, on Naruto, Irika, I've been expecting you too, came a voice behind chair. Greetings, Hokage-sama, Irika said. Hey, old man, that chair will be mine sooner than I thought after what Irika's sensei told me. Naruto, that's no way to greet Hokage-sama. But Irika, it's fine. Yes, Hokage-sama. Irika said with a bow. So, Irika, what brings you here? Asked the Hokage. Well, Hokage-sama, Naruto has speed and stealth skills higher than the average jonin. While under normal circumstances Irika would give out a detailed report, he knew the Hokage loved Naruto like a grandson and wouldn't want to report and would just like to hear it how it is. Is that so? Irika nods. Fine, then we'll test him right away. So long as that's fine with you, Naruto. Naruto's eyes widened. A test I can actually pass? He replied happily. Then he remembered he couldn't even pass the Genin test. So even if he did good on this test, he still couldn't become a Genin, so he frowned then said, but it won't even matter. It won't help me get the stupid clone jutsu. So I can't pass the Genin test. Naruto didn't understand why he couldn't learn the clone jutsu. It was meant to be the easiest of the 3 jutsu they test you on. He got the Kawarimi and transformation jutsu down, and they were meant to be harder. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage, saw where Naruto was struggling and why he was, so he decided he'd do something he shouldn't do. Teach Naruto the Shadow Clone Jutsu. While normally this would kill someone Naruto's age due to chakra exhaustion, Naruto was a special case, and it was due to that special case that he couldn't perform a simple clone jutsu. Naruto, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to teach you the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Irika cut off the Hokage before he could continue, because he knows that very few people can use the Shadow Clone because of how much chakra it takes. With all due respect, Hokage-sama, but Naruto can't even do the Clone Jutsu. So how do you expect him to learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu? A jutsu that most jonin can't do more than one of. Hiruzen smiled at Irika. He was one of the only people that care about Naruto. He was glad he could trust Irika with Naruto. Irika, I appreciate your concern, but the reason why Naruto can't perform the clone jutsu because his reserves are larger than mine and his control sucks. Irika was shocked. He said, stuttering, larger than yours? Yes, Irika, the Hokage confirmed. Irika back standing tall in front of his Hokage, then asked, but if his reserves are so large, why can't he do the clone jutsu? That's likely because he was born with those reserves, which explains his horrible control. Hey, I'm right here, Naruto interjected, not paying attention to most of what was going on, but he heard the horrible control part. Yes, Naruto, I know. I wouldn't have said it that way if you weren't, Hokage responded. Naruto looked confused, and the Hokage saw that. So he said, you see, Naruto, I'm telling you this so you can improve your control. He then explained a little more about what he was saying to Naruto, and when Naruto finally understood, he got back on topic. Yes, Naruto, I'll give you a scroll to get the shadow clone technique down. Then when you graduate the academy, I'll tell you its secret, which will help you with ninjutsu and chakra control. Naruto took the scroll, then left after saying his goodbyes, and he was very happy for once about the Genin exams because he had a chance to pass for the first time. Next day, graduation exam. Naruto walked into the academy happy. His classmates didn't understand his smile because they knew he was going to fail, so his classmate Shikamaru decided to go up to him. "Why are you so happy, Naruto? You do know today is the graduation exam, right?" "Yeah. I now Shika, but I just got the shadow clone jutsu down, and when I first tried it, I got well over 200 made." Shikamaru just froze out of shock because he knew Naruto wouldn't lie to him, and he knew what the shadow clone jutsu was. "Hey, Shiki, you there?" "Two. 200. Still shocked?" he asked. Yeah, Naruto smiled. Back to his senses, he asked how. "My dad can only perform one, and then can only do 2 to 4B ranked jutsu afterwards. I changed C rank to B rank cause 2 to 4 Cs doesn't seem right. I have bigger reserves than almost everyone in this village, if not all," Naruto said, remembering last night. Shikamaru couldn't believe what he was hearing, so he just went back to his seat to sleep and hoped this was just a dream. Irika 5 minutes later started class and called people up to do their jutsu test. Uzumaki, Naruto, he called last. "I want you to perform the transformation, then the substitution, and lastly the clone, or in your case, the shadow clone." Some people in the class that were in clans got shocked at the last remark, and some were asking, how can the doe be able to do the shadow clone jutsu? And then there was Sasuke, who was shocked, but all he said was HNN. Kiba, being arrogant, asked, "Why does the doe get to use a Jonin-only technique, while we have to make a regular clone?" Before Irika could answer, Sakura shouted out, "If Naruto Baka can do it, then Sasuke-kun can easily do it." Then came shouts of, "Yeah," from Sasuke's fangirls. Irika then cut in and said, "Well, most of you could die from making one shadow clone because of small chakra reserves, but Naruto has a larger reserve than Hokage-sama, and actually anyone in this village. He actually has a larger reserve than everyone in this class combined, including Mizuki-sensei and me." No one interrupted anymore, but there was a lot of murmurs about it being a lie, and Naruto decided to start. He performed the first 2 without a problem. Then it came time for the shadow clone. "Okay, Naruto, perform as many clones as you can with doing at least 3 to pass." Naruto, with a smirk, did the seals, then said multiple shadow clone jutsu, and over 4,000 shadow clones came into existence. Irika was so shocked he almost fainted and then asked, "Naruto, how can you do so many?" "Hokage-sama in his prime could only make about 100, and now can only make 75-inch. Scratching the back of his head, he said, "Well, you told me to make as many as I could, so I used almost all my chakra, and this is how many came about." "Well, congratulations, Naruto. You are now a genin of Konoha." He then smiles at Naruto, then says, "Now, everyone that passed, report back here tomorrow for the team arrangements. Oh, and Naruto, Hokasama requested I escort you to his office for the Shadow Clone Jutsu secret." Mizuki then appeared out of nowhere and said, "Let me take Naruto to the Hokage's office. It'll help me get to know a fellow Leaf comrade more." Very well. Irika agreed because he wanted Mizuki to see Naruto for Naruto and not the prisoner inside him. On the walk to the Hokage's office, Mizuki stopped Naruto and said, "Naruto, there's a special mission which will let you become a Chunin right after." Interested, Naruto asked, "What is it?" Mizuki-sensei. "What is it?" "Calm down, Naruto. You have to get the scroll of seals and meet me at this place," Mizuki said, pointing to a place on a map. Naruto didn't know what the scroll of seals was or where to get it. He voiced this to Mizuki, who spent a few minutes explaining where it was, but making Naruto believe it's nothing special. "Will do." They then continued to the Hokage's office, where they eventually got to. Naruto got to the office and found out the Shadow Clone secret, and could see how it would help him. Okay, first off, I'd just like to say chapters 2 to 4 are very short. 5 is decently long, and I'm still working on 6, so please be patient. Some chapters just can't be decent sized, and some just happen to be very long. Don't forget to review the story with any compliments or complaints about it so far. Again, if you want to know what I have planned, message me, and I'll tell you with as little spoilers as possible. Oh, and if you do ask, you can give me some suggestions, considering I only have up till 6 written, and this will be over 100 chapters guaranteed, unless something happens and I can't upload anymore. Also know I don't have an editor, so if there's mistakes, it's all on me. Disclaimer: I don't know Naruto or anything dealing with Naruto. Hokage-sama, came the voice of Mizuki. Naruto has stolen the scroll of sealing. We need to kill him before he can become a trouble to the village. Is that so? The Hokage asked. And when Mizuki nodded, he said, "Fine, call all the Jonin and Chunin you can and tell them to come here. And the ones that won't make my announcement, tell them I want Naruto captured alive and brought back to me." "Yes, Hokage-sama," Mizuki said, then disappeared in a body flicker. With Naruto. So if I could just retrieve this scroll and get it here, I become Chunin. Will I become Jonin if I get few down? Naruto asked himself in thought. Naruto created 10 shadow clones and told them each to learn one jutsu from the scroll. The real Naruto came across a jutsu named Rasengan, which interested him, not because it was a ranked, but because it explained what it did, but now how to do it, and also because it was created by the 4th Hokage, his idol. He didn't let it bother him that he couldn't learn it, and decided to ask the old man about it later. After 2 hours, Naruto memorized 6B rank jutsu, 3A rank jutsu, and even 1S rank jutsu. That's when Iruka came and yelled, "Naruto!" Naruto, with a smirk on his face, asked, "So am I Chunin now?" "Huh? What do you mean? Who told you that?" Iruka asked, confused. "Mizuki-sensei. He told me if I could retrieve this scroll and bring it here, I automatically become Chunin." Iruka was shocked at that and said, "That's not true, Neru." He got cut off when Kunai came rushing at them. He then pushed Naruto out of the way and took the kunai to his back. "Iruka, why are you protecting that demon? He stole the scroll of seals," came Mizuki. "Don't make me laugh. You set Naruto up." Iruka claimed in pain, realizing the situation. "So what? After I kill him, I'll become a hero in this village, and you should help me. He did kill your parents after all." Mizuki was sure Iruka would join him. "He didn't. It was the nine-tailed fox," Iruka said, defending Naruto. "Hey, Naruto, do you know why everyone in this village hate you?" Mizuki asked, seeing his chance to enrage the pest. "No, Mizuki, don't. It's against Konoha law," Iruka shouted. "The village hates you because you are the—" Mizuki got cut off by Iruka shouting now. "It's because you're the nine-tailed demon fox." Naruto froze in shock, then heard Iruka shout, "Naruto, run, and no matter what, don't stop." Naruto then started running. After the chase, Naruto is behind a tree when he hears Iruka and Mizuki talking. "Why are you helping the demon?" Mizuki asked. "I thought you hated that damn demon." "Yeah, you doll." Naruto started tearing and thought to himself, "So it's true. Even Iruka sensei sees me as a demon." "But Naruto is no demon," Iruka continued. "Fine then. I was going to deal with you later, but I guess that changed," Mizuki said, then threw kunai at Iruka, but Naruto deflected them. "If you ever touch my sensei again," Naruto said in anger, "I'll kill you," creating 1,000 shadow clones with killing intent much larger than either Iruka or Mizuka had ever felt. "Nah, Naruto?" Iruka asked in shock. Naruto then beat Mizuki to a pulp, ignoring his screams. "Sorry about that, Iruka-sensei," Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. "Naruto, that's fine, but I must take you to the Hokage to explain all that happened and to return the Scroll of Seals." "Okay," Naruto said with a smile. "I needed to talk to the old man about something anyways." At the Hokage's office, Iruka explained all that happened, and then the Hokage dismissed him, saying that he needed to talk to Naruto alone. "So, Naruto," the Hokage said kindly, "how many jutsu did you learn from the scroll? And what were they named and ranked?" Naruto decided to answer honestly, 10 in total. And let's see, 6B ranked: Fire Style, Fire Vortex, Wind Style, Air Cutters, Wind Style, Breeze Hold, Water Style, Vortex Water Dragon, Wind Style, Wind Blades, Lightning Style, Lightning Demon. 3A ranked: Shadow, Shuriken, Shadow Kunai, Shadow Clone Explosion, and an S ranked: Into the Shadows. The Hokage nearly fainted at learning a 12-year-old learned an S-ranked jutsu in 2 hours, even if this 12-year-old was Naruto. It amazed him more that it was Into the Shadows in which only one person was able to learn, and that person couldn't even master it. After recovering from the shock, then said, "Well, Naruto, I have some good news for you. This will be put as a B-ranked mission on your info card, and you will receive a B-rank pay of 15,000 Aro for catching a traitor." Naruto got shocked for a few moments, thinking of what he could do with that kind of money, then decided to talk. "Thank you, old man, so much." He then remembered what he saw on the scroll. I have a question." "Ask away, Naruto-kun." There's one jutsu called the Rasengan on the Scroll of Seals, but it doesn't tell you how to use it. And I'd like to know how, because it was invented by the fourth Hokage." The Hokage was shocked by the question, then answered, "I'll have someone teach it to you when I feel you are ready. If there's nothing else of importance, let me tell you who you'll be teamed with. It'll be Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura, led by Hitaki Kakashi. For what you did today, I'm giving you 2 presents. The first is this bingo book, which I want you to memorize with shadow clones, and these chakra weights that I want you to start wearing after you ask Kakashi how they work." Hokage said, "Now go home and sleep. You have a big day tomorrow." Okay, readers, I'd just like to tell you I'm going to write down here how much spending money Naruto has every time something comes up where he spends or gains money. D ranks won't be added because I'll count that for his normal living stuff. Here's the pay grade for each mission. D rank, 100,000 Rio. C rank, 1,000 to 5,000 Rio. B rank, 5,000 to 20,000 Rio. A rank, 20,000 to 1,000,000 Rio. S rank, 1,000,000 plus Rio. So Naruto now has 15,000. If you have a story and want me to read it and tell you what I think, give me the link, and I'll read it till the current end chapter it's at, and we'll tell you how it is. If I like it a lot, I'll add it to my favorite. Zabuza was amused a little runt knew of him. So they actually teach you brat stuff in that leaf-hugging village. No, but if you read the bingo book, you'll find stuff out. Sort of like the fact that you're an A-ranked missing mean with a 1,000,000 Rio bounty on your head. Naruto. Then continued Kakashi-sensei. I'm taking my weights off, and you need to use your Sharingan. Sasuke froze after hearing the word Sharingan. Zabuza laughed a little. Short kid. I like you. Too bad I have to kill you. How you reminded me of some other blonde Konoha ninja. Too bad I forgot his name. Kakashi then revealed his Sharingan, and Naruto took his weights off. How do you have a Sharingan? Demanded Sasuke. Only Uchiha deserved to have it. It doesn't belong to outsiders. It doesn't matter right now. Just protect the builder. The mist became thicker, and Zabuza was getting ready to do his silent killing technique when Naruto shouted into the shadows, then said, Kakashi-sensei, I got his legs, he's on the water. Edit note. Goes back to mocking self. Naruto isn't going to be OP. Naruto proceeds to be OP. I'ma fix this somehow. Kakashi ran to the water, and that's when he saw Zabuza's sword, and he was shocked Zabuza actually killed him. I seriously like that brat. It's a shame he... Zabuza stopped when he saw smoke. Water style, Vortex Water Dragon, Naruto, said, Zabuza, I'm an idiot sometimes, but not dumb. I knew you'd escape the end of the shadows, so I had a clone do it. I didn't actually think it would catch you, though. Brett, you can't beat me with a water jutsu, especially when you make it that weak. Well, that was my weakest attack jutsu. Now try this wind style. Breeze hold. Now Kakashi-sensei. Fire style. Multi. Grand fireball. Zabuza didn't die from that, but a Sunban came and killed him. Thank you, Ninja-san. I've been chasing Zabuza Momochi for a while, came a mass person. No problem, Hunter Nin-san, Kakashi said. Well, I have to get rid of this body. Farewell. The Hunter Nin said then left. At Tazuna's house. Kakashi didn't faint because he didn't use too much chakra, but he was still tired. Kakashi-sensei, I'd like to talk to you about a few things, please, came the voice of Naruto. Sure, come in and close the door. First, aren't Hunter Nins supposed to dispose of the body right away? Yes, Naruto, and I know what you're thinking, and Zabuza may very well be alive. I'd give him 3 to 4 weeks to recover because of how beat he was. Naruto smiled at that. Could I get a rematch? Naruto then continued. Second, can you help me figure out what my chakra affinity is? Naruto, that's Jonin level stuff, Kakashi said seriously. But sure, how about if you can get tree walking down a week, I'll give you the chakra paper to find out. Okay, that works. Now lastly, do you by chance know who the blonde Zabuza referred to as? Kakashi flinched at that question and tried to avoid the question, but Naruto noticed, come on, sensei, tell me. Well, all I can tell you is, He was my sensei, Kakashi said, looking sad. Naruto had eyes wide open. I remind an A-rank missing Nin of the fourth? I guess so. Time to train hard to surpass all the Hokages, Naruto said. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. While there's the chapter, I'd like to thank you all for reading so far. Thanks for ignoring all the grammar issues I have. And thanks for liking the story so far. Don't forget to review, and if you have any questions, ask. This is probably my shortest chapter to be, hopefully, because I like longer chapters. This chapter's stats. Zabuza. Speed. 9. He's slower because of his sword. Stamina. 7.5. Control. 6. Reflexes. 11. Ninjutsu. 4.75. Jinjutsu 2. Taijutsu. 9.5. Kenjutsu is added here. Fuinjutsu 1. Stealth 15. Total 65.25. Kakashi with Sharingan. Speed 11. Stamina 5.5. Control 8.25. Reflexes 13. Ninjutsu 15. Jinjutsu 10.5. Taijutsu 9.75. Fuinjutsu 4.5. Stealth 10. Total 84.5. Stats I forgot from last chapter. Naruto. Speed 8.25. Stamina 15. Control 0.75. Reflexes 1.5. Ninjutsu 7.75. Jinjutsu 0. Taijutsu 3.75. Fuinjutsu 0. Stealth 9.5. Total 46.5. Sasuke. Speed 4.75. Stamina 4.5. Control 3.5. Reflexes 5.25. Ninjutsu 6. Jinjutsu 1. Taijutsu 4.5. Fuinjutsu 0. Stealth 1.75. Total 31.25. Sakura. Speed 1.5. Stamina 1. Control 10. Reflexes 0.5. Jinjutsu 1. Taijutsu 1.25. Fuinjutsu 0. Stealth 0.25. Total 17. Kakashi without Sharingan. Speed 11. Stamina 8. Control 8.25. Reflexes 10.75. Ninjutsu 15. Jinjutsu 7. Taijutsu 8.25. Fuinjutsu 4.5. Stealth 10. Total 82.75. How the stats work. Genin 3 to 15. Chunin 15 to 30. Jonin 30 to 60. Elite 60 to 100. Kage 100-135. Sakura already got the tree walking exercise down, and Kakashi let her help Tazuna in town, and then Kakashi left. Of course, he's an amazing sensei, not going with Sakura, but not staying with Naruto and Sasuke, leaving Naruto and Sasuke alone. Dope, how do you know so many jutsu? Demanded Sasuke. Everyone has their secrets. Naruto paused, then continued. Sasuke, how about we both help each other out? That way, if I need help, I can rely on you. Naruto got cut off before finishing. Yeah, and what can a dope like you offer me? I was getting there, Naruto said, a little annoyed. You'll get my full support when it comes time for you to get your revenge. How can you help? I have more jutsu than you, and I am faster than you. I can help, but Sasuke, we are no match combined with Kakashi for Itachi. He is an S rank for no reason. Let us both train together, and I can. No, I will help you. HN fine, but add to the deal. Any fire, jutsu you know you teach me, Sasuke demanded. I have a B rank one already. I'll teach it to you after we are done with getting this exercise down. Sasuke gave a small smirk at that, then said, Hey Naruto. Yeah. Thanks. No problem. A week passed, and both Naruto and Sasuke got the tree climbing exercise down, so Kakashi gathered his whole team. Okay, team, I'm going to teach you all your elemental affinity. Thank you, Sensei, Naruto shouted. Okay, take a slip of this paper and channel chakra into it. After they all channeled chakra into the paper, Kakashi looked at the results. Sakura had a low affinity for earth. Sasuke had a high affinity for lightning and a very high second affinity for fire. Naruto had a very high affinity for wind and a second affinity for fire, which was higher than Sasuke's, which shocked Kakashi. Okay, team, what I'm going to have you all do is Jonin level stuff. But I trust all of you to finish it. Kakashi then looked at Sakura. Sakura, I want you to take a leaf and make it crumble to dust. He then looked at Naruto and Sasuke. Both of you two boys will do your first affinity first. Then when you're done, I'll tell you how to do the second. So Sasuke, I want you to make a leaf crinkle. And Naruto, I want you to make a leaf split in half. All of this must be done with your chakra, he said. The last part only after he saw Naruto about to rip his leaf in half with his hands. Sasuke, still want that jutsu I promised you? Naruto asked. HM was his reply. Okay, fire style. Fire vortex. Naruto said, and a vortex of fire went to the lake behind the house. That's a jutsu. If you have trouble with it, ask me for help. He gave Sasuke the instructions on how to do it, which hand seals are needed, and what to think about. Kakashi, who was watching from the sidelines, was impressed because Sasuke was accepting help. Naruto, how do you know so many jutsu? Sasuke asked and didn't demand for once. Sasuke, I would tell you if I could, but it's a secret, Naruto said, then decided to help the Uchiha a little more. Sasuke, want to learn a Jonin-only technique? You mean the shadow clone? Sasuke received a nod from Naruto. Yeah, that'd be good. But first I'd like to know the most you can make. I'd say about 8,000, but then I can't fight, Naruto said, which even shocked Sasuke. My dad, who was the Uchiha clan leader, could only do 15. Naruto was very surprised that Sasuke was talking about a family member, which is something he never has done before after the whole massacre. So he decided to ask, Sasuke, I won't mind a no for this, but do you think you can take me to your clan library so I can maybe learn a wind jutsu or two? Sasuke smiled and said, sure, but only after I learn the shadow clone. Naruto smiled and showed Sasuke how to do it, and Sasuke got it after 2 tries and created 2 clones, then said while panting, wow, 2's my limit. Well then, a deal's a deal. I'll take you after this mission. After that was said Kakashi appeared. Aren't you two supposed to be training with the leaf? Naruto was first to say something. Well, you never told us how, and Sakura isn't even here. Kakashi didn't want to tell them how, but with what Naruto said, he now had to. Okay, Naruto, for you, I want you to think of a blade cutting the leaf. As for you, Sasuke, I want you to think of the leaf being zapped. Sensei, I think you should let Sasuke rest for now. He has very little chakra left. Hell, it seems if he does a simple clone, he'll fall down. Very well. Start tomorrow. Sasuke, you can go back to the house. I want to talk to Naruto. After Sasuke left, Kakashi started talking again. Okay, Naruto, I know the D ranks pay for your rent and basic food, but Naruto, I think I can help you with getting extra Rio. I'm going to teach you how to use a storage seal, and you should collect any weapon or anything valuable you find and put them in these. You can then sell what you find or keep it for later use. Yes, Sensei. When it started to become dark, Kakashi told Naruto he should leave, but Naruto decided to wait around and stay to try to learn to draw his own functional storage seals. It only took him 15 minutes with shadow clones to learn how to activate them, so he decided to use 10 and each started to attempt it. 2 hours after Kakashi left, Naruto finally figured out. At Tezuna's house next morning, Team 7 all woke up and met for breakfast. Okay, team, you're going to practice your elemental training again today. If anyone shows progress reported to my shadow clone, I'll leave with you all. It'll tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. He then looks at Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke, only use one clone to help. And when you feel drained, dispel it, and then take a break. Then continue with no clone. Naruto, I want you to only make 25 clones, no more for this training. But because of your chakra, you can replace them each time they dispel. And don't forget, try dispelling as little as possible at a time. I sensei all three shouted in unison. I'll be watching over Tezuna. If my calculations are right, Zabuza will be up and ready in just 5 more days. So I'll let you all train for 3 more days. The 4th day, you'll all have a break. And the 5th day, we will all go to the bridge. And Naruto will leave 10 clones here, with 8 of them hiding and 2 around, just in case they target Tezuna's family. Okay, head out to train. At the same training place as yesterday. Once they got to the training place, Naruto created his 25 clones and Sasuke created his 1 clone, and then all 3 people on the team started trying to do their elemental training. After Naruto started, he created another 10 clones, and then Sakura shouted, Naruto Baka Sensei said only to use 25. Sakura, he said 25 for this training. I'm sending these other 10 to the lake to learn water walking. But, Sakura, shut up, me and the Dobe are actually trying to train. Something you should do as well, Sasuke said. Thanks, team. 3 hours had passed, and so far, and Sakura had no progress, while Naruto had gotten a small rip, and Sasuke got a very tiny spot of the leaf to crinkle. Kakashi then appeared. Okay, team, I think that's enough for now. Let's return back to Tezuna's. You can all continue tomorrow. Day of the bridge battle. Okay, if I'm right, Zabuza will attack today. Naruto, make the 10 clones, and have 8 hide, and only come out if one of the other 2 dispel. I got it, he said as he made 10 clones. You all know what to do. Okay, let's go. They all walked to the bridge with Tezuna, and 5 minutes after they go to the bridge, Naruto stopped and said, "It's begun. Everyone stay on guard. The mist is getting thicker," Kakashi announced. "Kakashi the Sharingan, we meet again, and this time I will kill you," came the murderous voice of Zabuza Momochi. "I see my suspicions that you were alive were true." Kakashi replied, "Okay, team, Sakura, you guard Izuna. Naruto and Sasuke take out Zabuza's helper. I'm not mentioning the Kakashi-Zabuza fight. It'll be like in canon, but the only difference is Zabuza dies. Both of you combined can't beat me," said the masked guy. "You should feel lucky you get to fight the last Uchiha," Sasuke said. "Team, didn't we say no more last Uchiha shit?" "HN. You two might be a challenge. Demonic ice mirrors. You will die now. No one can break these mirrors, not even Zabuza-sama. Sasuke, try using your fire jutsu to bring those down," Naruto said. "Fire style. Grand fireball," Sasuke yelled. "Nothing, it doesn't come down." "I already told you. You can't bring these mirrors down," the masked guy said again. "Multi-shadow clone," Naruto said, and 50 shadow clones came about. The masked man then started throwing Senbon at all the clones, and all dispelled, and a few hit the real Naruto and Sasuke. This cycle continued another 4 times, then Sasuke unlocked his Sharingan and saw where the masked guy was. He then used his grand fireball, and the mask came off. Then the masked guy killed Sasuke. You, you killed him." Naruto started going berserk, then didn't know what he was doing. Inside Naruto's mindscape. "So my jailer has finally come to see me," said a mysterious voice. "Who are you?" asked Naruto. "I'm what's inside you. The Kyuubi no Yoko," the Kyuubi said with a lot of killer intent. "What do you want?" "Me? I want freedom," Kyuubi said sarcastically. "Okay, is there any way I can grant you freedom without dying?" "You're not serious. You would let me, Kyuubi no Yoko, the demon who destroys mountains with just its tail?" "I will, only if you don't kill those precious to me and I don't die. Kit, you interest me. I'll do you a favor and let you sign the Fox contract, and you'll be the second to ever get it." "How do I do that? And who was the first?" A summoning contract appeared, and the Kyuubi said, "Sign this with blood. And the first was a bastard I want you to kill. If you do, they'll be loyal to you only when summoned. He goes by the name Madara Uchiha." "Another Uchiha? I thought Sasuke was the last," Naruto thought. "Okay, I'll sign it and help you, so long as you don't kill my friends." "You have a deal, young kid. Now sign this." Naruto signed it, and then Kyuubi told him how to use the jutsu to summon foxes. Then Naruto returned to the real world. At the bridge. Naruto, can you hear me?" came the voice of Kakashi. "I'm here, sensei." Then he remembered about Sasuke. "Where's Sasuke?" "He's right there, Naruto," Kakashi said, pointing to the body of the young Uchiha. "I'm sorry, Naruto." Naruto was going to lose it, but then he heard a cough from the Uchiha's body. "He's alive. Dobe, where's that masked man?" Naruto didn't know how to answer, so Kakashi answered for him. "Naruto killed him. Dobe, you're becoming stronger." So, it seems the demon of the mist failed. While I wasn't planning on paying him anyways. Thugs kill the remaining ninja. "Kakashi sensei, let me try something summoning jutsu," Naruto said, and a fox appeared. "Hello there. Do you think you can assist me in killing these thugs? Sure thing, master. And my name is Kitsuno. Okay, Kitsuno, after you help get rid of them, I want to ask you a few questions, but I'll probably ask them later. Kitsuno used a fire jutsu, which killed all the thugs in Gato. Naruto, I'm not going to ask now how you got summoning, but we need to leave, get a few shadow clones to collect the weapons. We'll leave tomorrow, after the bridge finally is up and working, Kakashi-sensei said. Next day, goodbye to Zuna, and people of Wave will be returning to Konoha now, Kakashi said. Don't leave, cried Inari, you have to stay. I'm sorry, Inari, we have to leave, Naruto said with a smile. I'll visit, though. After that, Team 7 started walking towards Konoha. We still need to name the bridge, Tazuna said. How about the Great Naruto Bridge? A random person said. That is catchy. We'll call it the Great Naruto Bridge. Disclaimer, I don't know Naruto or anything Naruto related. Team 7 were walking about to go back to Konoha when Kakashi stopped them all and turned to Naruto. I have a question, Naruto. Naruto looked at him. Where did you get a fox summoning contract? Naruto decided to be honest. I got it from the QB. How can you trust the QB? Foxes are loyal to their masters, and I am its master. Well, at least when I summon him, Naruto said, realizing he just told Kakashi QB isn't really loyal. The other two people of the team overheard some of what was being said. Then Sakura asked, what does Naruto have to do with the evil monster QB no Yoko? Just a warning, I might call QB no Yoko or QB no Kitsune when people mention it by its full name. I can't tell you. Only Naruto can. First, before asking him no, that it's an S-rank secret, that if you speak about it with others you will be sentenced to death, Kakashi took a breath and said, only two people are allowed to talk about it. Those are Naruto and Hokage-sama. Kakashi-sensei, it's fine. If I can't trust my teammates, then who can I? Kakashi saw the maturity of his sensei Minato in those words. Sasuke, Sakura the QB is sealed inside of me. Sakura fainted, but Kakashi caught her before she fell to the ground, and Sasuke was just mouth open shocked at what he had just heard. If you guys hate me, I understand, Naruto said when Sakura got up. Sakura, terrified, said, you're a monster. That's why you always did those pranks. Naruto frowned because his teammate didn't understand that he's not the fox. Sakura, Naruto isn't the fox. Kakashi said angrily that she thought of Naruto as the QB. I expected more from you. Naruto is the jailer, not the QB. Sakura still looked confused, so he decided to explain it further. Let's say this kunai is the fox. He took out a kunai. And this scroll is Naruto. He took out a sealing scroll. Let's say I seal the kunai into the scroll. Is the scroll now the kunai? No. So, is that why Naruto has so much chakra? Sasuke decided to give his input with that question. Yes, Kakashi said, then looked at Naruto. Are you okay? Yeah, Naruto responded. Kakashi-sensei, I'm going to summon Kitsuno before we enter Konoha. Kakashi nodded and okay. Then Naruto said, summoning jutsu. Hello, master. How may I help you? Kitsuno asked. Kakashi-sensei, I'd like to talk to Kitsuno alone for a second, please. Kakashi left. And once Naruto was sure he was gone, he asked, Kitsuno, do you know the QB? Confused, Kitsuno asked, "Can you describe him?" "Yeah, he has 9 tails and is gigantic." Realizing who Naruto was talking about, he said, "Yes, of course I know who Kurama-sama is." "Who's Kurama?" "Kurama is our boss. We haven't seen him in around 100 years, but we believe he is alive." "Kit, I am Kurama. That's my name. Tell Kitsuno I'm sealed in you," Kyubi told Naruto. The Kyubi, Kurama said he's sealed inside of me." Kitsuno's eyes widened in joy. "So Kurama-sama is still alive." "Okay, just a question. This is why I summoned you. I want to know if I can summon him." "Yes, go ahead and try it. He'll be smaller because of the area, but he'll be all-powerful." "Will he attack my village again, and will I die?" "No to the village, and I'm pretty sure you won't die. Not completely sure there, because you'll summon Kurama-sama, but he'll still be connected to you." "Thanks. Well, here goes nothing summoning jutsu." "Hello, Kit," came the voice of a fox with 9 tails about Naruto's height, went on all four. "Is that you, Kyubi?" Naruto asked, slightly scared. "Yes, and don't worry, Kit. I can't kill you or anyone you care about. All because of this damned contract." "Okay, that's good," Naruto said, then shouted, "Kakashi-sensei, bring the team here." "What?" Kakashi said when he came over then. He stood frozen when he saw a fox that looked like a mini Kyubi. "Everyone, meet the Kyubi." Naruto smirked. Kakashi then had a talk with Naruto and the rest about not telling any of this to anyone, and for Naruto to not summon unless necessary. Naruto also found out from Kurama to add these names to the end after saying summoning jutsu, so he can get certain summons in for babies, probably useless. You never know. Key 4 foxes in training. Kit 4 foxes, they're still weak in training, but can fight Q for what's considered Chunin and Jonin in the ninja world, and lastly Core for the masters, which Kurama himself is one of 4. Gate of Konoha. The Eternal Gate Guards, Kotetsu Hagane and Izumo Kamizuki, welcomed the team back. Afterwards, a pair of A and BU appeared and said, "You were summoned to a council meeting." The other said, "Don't be late, Kakashi-senpai, and don't forget your team." When the two ENBU left, Kakashi said, "Well, better not let them wait." At the meeting, "Where is the team?" one of the civilians asked. "Patience," the Hokage responded. "It's been 30 minutes since the ENBU returned," another said. Then Kakashi entered, "Sorry for being late." "We can now begin," the Hokage announced, and then went through the mission overview he got from Tazuna by messenger bird. When he finished reading it, he asked, "Now who wants to state something or ask questions?" "We should jail the demon brat for endangering Sasuke-kun," one of the civilians announced. "No, he should be executed for putting Sasuke in harm's way," another said. "If Naruto ever gets jailed for saving me, I'll kill who's responsible," Sasuke said angrily. "But Sasuke-sama, he hurt you, and probably plans to kill you. That's what all demons do, kill." The same civilian said, "Enough. If all you want to do is kill or jail or punish Naruto, then the civilian council is dismissed." The Hokage said, "But Hokage-sama, he must be killed before he kills us. Leave now." "But now." The civilian council left pissed. It seemed they were plotting something against Naruto, but the Hokage decided to let it be until it happened. So anyone left want to ask something? Yes, just how powerful is Naruto? Shikamaru's father asked. Stronger than a lot of Chunin, the Hokage replied. Then why isn't he a Chunin? I know Sasuke could be low Chunin, and if anything, Sakura's reserve are low enough to have perfect control for medical jutsu, which if she learns will earn her a promotion to Chunin. It's because of lack of experience. But if the reports are correct, then Naruto assisted a lot in the fight with Zabuza Momochi, Demon of the Mist, Ino's dad said. Yes, the reports are correct. If it wasn't for Naruto and little help from Sasuke, I would be dead, Kakashi said. Okay, let's have a vote. All those in favor of promoting Naruto to Chunin. The Hokage asked, knowing there needs to be a 2/3 vote for it to be accepted. To the Hokage's surprise, everyone except his advisors and Danzo said, aye. Very well, Naruto Uzumaki is Chunin by field promotion. Naruto, come to my office tomorrow at 9 a.m. to receive your vest, the Hokage said. Now all those in favor of promoting Sasuke to Chunin. Once again, the Hokage was shocked because Sasuke received exactly 2/3 of the council's vote, so he had to promote him. Very well, Sasuke Uchiha is Chunin by field promotion. Come to my office with Naruto tomorrow. Gigi, do you think I'm ready for Chunin? I want it because it's a step closer to me becoming Hokage, but I don't deserve it. Son, you just proved you are Chunin material, Choji's dad said. It has been 3 days since Naruto and Sasuke got promoted, and they were given a 4-day off to celebrate their promotion. So naturally, Sasuke was being antisocial and just responding with his normal HN when someone talked to him. Team 7 met at their normal training ground, but knew Kakashi wouldn't be there today because he was on a mission. They arrived to the training ground at around noon, and they all agreed to stay there all day to get stronger. Okay, any suggestions on how we should train today? Naruto asked Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura, how about you come up with a schedule? Because you're the brains. Then Sasuke can refine the schedule to fit us all. HN. Okay, Sakura said, how about we start off with chakra control and do that till 1:30 p.m. Then we all go on a 30-minute break for lunch. Then at 2 we start learning to control out affinities until 5 because that will take the longest. Then from 5 to 6 we do physical training. Then leave for the day. Sakura then looked at Sasuke and asked, is that a good plan, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke was actually thinking about that schedule, and after a few moments he came to the conclusion that it was a very well laid out schedule, but realized it could be adjusted a little. It's not a bad schedule. Except how about me and the dog do chakra control from now till 2:15, and at 1:30 you start your affinity training until we are done. At 2:15 we go for a 30-minute lunch break. Then after we come back at around 2:45, we do stretches and basic exercises. Then at 3 we all do affinity training till 4:30. And then from 4:30 till 5, we do jutsu training. Finally, from 5 to dark, we do physical training by sparing each other. After the wave mission, Sasuke had realized that he would need his team to help him take down his brother faster, because he realized he isn't strong enough yet, and neither is the whole team, but together they can cut the time for him to kill Itachi. Sasuke still thinks he can do stuff alone faster, but when the team wants him to train with them, he joins in. Okay, let's all start. Sasuke, I know you can make one shadow clone while still being able to do stuff. So create one while we do this. after it dispels continue without clones. And so I'm not a huge advantage. I'll only use 20 clones on chakra control, 10 affinity control, and 10 for jutsu. Naruto, can you create 2 clones right now to get us a scroll on chakra control from the library? Naruto frowned at being asked to go to the library where they just kick him out because of what he holds. And after Sasuke looked at him to see if he'd make the clones, he knew why he didn't do anything. Dope, you're a ninja now. You can't be denied access to ninja areas no matter how much someone hates you. Since you're only a genin like us, we can only get into areas that have C-rank stuff without need of permission. Edit note. I'm pretty sure Naruto and Sasuke are Chunin now, but I'll leave that in there and just let us all assume they just haven't gotten their vests yet. Sasuke usually ignores Naruto's problems unless it dealt with what he holds inside. If it was with the Kyuubi, he'd tell him what to do. Any other problem would be ignored. After Sasuke's words lightened Naruto up a bit, Naruto created the 2 required clones and had them performed into the shadows to get there at half the speed. Into the shadow speed depends on how many shadows there is. If none are available, it'll create 1, but move slower. And after 20 minutes, the 2 Naruto clones returned with 2 scrolls, 1 for chakra control exercises they could perform, and him thinking ahead for once a scroll with a few D-ranked and C-ranked jutsu. Team 7 started training at 12:30 because they took 5 minutes to locate a lake or pond. The first chakra control exercise was water walking, which came after tree walking, which they've all mastered. Once they located a pond, Naruto stripped down to his boxers because he had a feeling he was going to get wet. "Baka, put your clothes back on," Sakura shouted at Naruto. "Sakura-chan, we're trying to walk on water here. If we get it wrong, we'll fall in and get wet. And I don't want my clothes to get wet." Sakura was amazed at the logic Naruto put forward, but still said, "Baka, it's not polite to just randomly strip down in front of a lady. Look at Sasuke when he's still wearing his clothes, and he's going to do the same exercise." Sakura turned to see Sasuke had just striped down to his boxers like Naruto did. Then she fainted with a bloody nose. 3 minutes later, Naruto and Sasuke finally got Sakura to awake. "Sakura, get up. We are wasting time. We have to get this exercise done with to improve our control." Sakura didn't realize Sasuke was in his boxers when she got up. That was a nice dream. Sasuke-kun was wearing nothing but his boxers, she thought, then looked and noticed he was actually only wearing boxers. "Is this a dream?" she asked. Sasuke tried really hard to not face palm himself. "Sakura, for once the dobe is right. It's better to wear the least possible, so not all our clothes gets wet. We aren't asking you to strip down, but it'd be for the best in case you fall in." Sasuke left Sakura after saying that and headed to the water, where Naruto currently was with clones. He went there after Sakura got up, falling in multiple times. Once Sasuke was at the water, Sakura started questioning if she'd feel okay in her bra and panties around her teammates. After Wave, she decided it's time to take being a shinobi seriously. And if she couldn't show a little body around her teammates, how would she ever be a good kunoichi? I probably spelled it wrong. Someone correct me for later chapters. Considering kunoichi are supposed to do missions where they are obligated to show their bodies. After minutes of thinking about this, she decided to strip down to her underwear. But she approached the water slowly with her head down to not see how her teammates looked at her. "So, it seems you actually want to be a good ninja," Sasuke said. Sakura looked up and noticed both Naruto and Sasuke were looking at her, but not at her body, This lifted some weight off her shoulder, so she did her first attempt at walking on the water, and she stood for about 15 seconds, then fell in, and she was now glad she decided to leave her clothes on the ground. Great job, Sakura-chan. On my first try, I just fell in, Naruto said, trying to encourage Sakura. At 1:15, Sakura mastered water walking and was tired, so she decided to take a break until 1:30, at which she would start affinity training. At the same time, Naruto and Sasuke both managed to be able to stand on the water, but neither could walk yet, and Sasuke's clone dispelled at 12:55. By 2:15, Naruto could walk a little, then fall in the water, and Sasuke could walk but not run. After one more attempt, both Sasuke and Naruto went to get Sakura from where she was behind the tree. They decided to get sushi today as a team lunch. So, Sakura-chan, how are you doing with your earth element? Naruto asked on the way to the sushi place. Sakura gave a defeated sigh. I'm not getting anywhere. I can make the stem crumble, but that's all. Don't worry, you'll get it. I know you will. They arrived to the sushi place, and once they were about to enter, the man that came to greet them said, I'm sorry, but you two may come in, but that thing is not allowed in here. Naruto frowned at this and was about to walk away when you will serve all of us or none of us. And I'll tell everyone how bad this place is if you don't let my comrade in with us, Sasuke said. But Uchiha-sama, you shouldn't associate with IT. Sir, if you don't let us all in, we'll leave and find a different place to eat at. Right this way, Uchiha-sama, but if IT breaks something, it'll pay. That won't be a problem, and we won't have a problem so long as you don't wrong him, and that you stop calling him IT. He may be a dope, but he is human. The man was angry that Uchiha-sama would associate with the likings of that demon, but he let them get a table. The team sat down and ate, and when they finished, Konoha's top gossip came in, Ino Yamanka, and when she saw Team 7, she couldn't resist and say hi. Hey, Forehead. Hi, Sasuke, she said, then looked at Naruto and gave a quick hi. So what you guys do at this place? We were leaving Ino, Sakura said in a friendly manner. Before you guys leave, do you know if you're going to enter the Chunin exams? They start in 5 weeks. Damn it, Gigi. Now I can't join them and show my skills. Naruto said. What's he upset about? Ino asked. Well, him and Sasuke got promoted 3 days ago, and I think Naruto wanted to show his skills. Sakura replied. How did Naruto Baka get promoted? I can understand Sasuke, but that Baka. Ino said, wait, how did they get promoted when they haven't joined the Chunin exams? Sasuke has been acting like he was ignoring this all, but he was listening, and Naruto just wanted to see if Sakura would say anything nice about him. They both got a field promotion from our C-ranked mission Gone A. And you'd be surprised, Ino, Naruto actually deserved it. I'm the only Genin left on Team 7 because I froze up a lot on the mission, but Naruto and Sasuke fought. Sasuke looked at Naruto and saw him brighten up. So before he caused a scene cause of this, he said, Sakura and Naruto, we have 5 minutes left to get back to the training fields to continue with our schedule. We should hurry. Well, see you, Ino Pig. Yep, later, Forehead. At the training ground. So let's start stretching, Naruto said. Team 7 did their 15 minutes of stretching and then all started to go back to elemental affinity training. Naruto created 10 clones and told them to start trying to cut the leaf, but he noticed that no matter what he tried, he couldn't get past halfway cut. Sakura was also having trouble, still only able to crumble the stem for the leaf. For Sasuke, he had improved, but not all that much. He went from getting a quarter of the leaf to crinkle to half. But in his head, he was saying, I should be able to get this done. I'm an Uchiha. At 4, Kakashi dropped by. How are my cute little genin? Kakashi-sensei, they all said in unison. Hey sensei, Naruto said. May I ask what you three are doing? Kakashi asked. We were doing elemental manipulation, Sasuke said. Kakashi raised an eyebrow at this and wondered why his team decided to train on a day he had off for a mission when any other team would take this day off instead. How far are you guys? Oh, and here's your 250,000 Rio each from Zabuza. He had a bounty of 1,250,000 each. All three looked shocked at the money they just received, and Naruto opened his bounty book to see if Kakashi was lying. Once he flipped to Zabuza's page, he realized that Kakashi wasn't lying. But if he went to wine country, he could have got 2 million. So, is my team getting anywhere in elemental manipulation? I can't get more than halfway, Naruto claimed. I can get the stem, but that's all Sakura said. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing what is supposed to be done, but I'm like the dope over there, getting only halfway, Sasuke said. How about you 3 stop elemental manipulation and find someone with your element? Naruto, tomorrow go to Asuma. Sasuke, tomorrow meet with me. And Sakura, tomorrow go to Ebisu, Kakashi said. Well, I'm leaving now. I'll tell Asuma and Ebisu to train you guys tomorrow, but you'll have to find them. Thank you, Sensei, Sakura and Naruto said. HN, said Sasuke. Kakashi left the 3 alone once again, and now they had something to do tomorrow. Well, since Kakashi basically told us to stop elemental manipulation, let's start jutsu training. This adds an hour to it. Naruto, you can use 25 clones instead of 10 like you said, Sasuke said. Even though Sasuke was encouraging Naruto, inside he felt jealous. He felt jealous because Naruto had all this chakra and could last in a fight longer than him. Naruto could make hundreds of shadow clones without feeling anything, while he could only make one and still feel it. Even though he knew Naruto could help him fight Itachi, he still felt that he should be ahead of Naruto. Okay, Naruto created 25 clones and had them split into 5 groups. One group to learn the teleportation/shunshin, one to perfect all his clone techniques, Shadow Clone, Shadow Shuriken, Shadow Kunai, Shadow Clone Explode, one to increase hand seal speed, one to read jutsu theory, and lastly one to point out the visible flaws. The groups consisted of 5, 5, 5, 5, and 4. With the last clone, the real Naruto took it to train with Into the Shadows. Team 7 continued this training for 2 weeks. Naruto could finally cut a leaf fully. Sasuke could make the whole leaf crinkle up, and Sakura was slower in progress, but still did good. She could crumble half the leaf now. Naruto and Sasuke both got water walking down, while Sakura got leaf spinning down. Team 7 was becoming a powerful team. In 3 weeks, the Chunin exams start, and their whole graduating class would join, except them. Team 7 was going to do more training today, but the Hokage summoned them. Team 7 President Hokage-sama, Kakashi said, "It says here that your team has done at least 10 more D-rank missions than any other team. So I've decided that your team will do a C rank mission. The Hokage looked at a small list of C rank missions. How about this one? You are to destroy a bandit camp. The pay will be 4,000 Rio. Okay, Hoke-sama, Kakashi said, team meet me at the main gate in 30 minutes. At the main gate. Of course, Kakashi sensei would be late, Naruto's side. Kakashi was supposed to be at the gate 2 hours ago, but knowing Kakashi, he wouldn't be there for another half an hour, because he's always at least 3 hours late, unless it's a ranked or higher. Yo, Kakashi said. You're late, Sakura shouted. No, he's early, Sakura-chan, Naruto said. Sakura started arguing with Naruto for a while, until eventually she just gave up, and she also realized she was wasting time arguing when they could just leave to do the mission. Okay, team, let's go. The bandit camp is a half-hour run away from here, so we better get going, Kakashi said. Kakashi led his team through the trees going to the bandit camp. They were 5 minutes away when Kakashi had them stop. We will walk from here, just in the small case that they have a sensor ninja with them, because usually a ninja leads the bandits. I sensei all, Tre replied. They all walked from there, and Sasuke spotted a bandit. He asked Kakashi if he should kill him or capture him, and Kakashi only said to follow, because he might lead them to their camp. The team followed the one bandit, but the bandit just stopped. Be careful, team. He might have sensed you. The bandit came charging at the team after Kakashi said that. Wind style, breeze hold, Naruto shouted, but for some reason the bandit escaped the hold instantly. He's a ninja. How would you know? Sasuke asked. Only high Chunin and higher can get out of my breeze hold. Naruto replied, then, after seeing the bandit's face, said, his name is Masamicho Hahoza. He's in a ranked missing nin for Waterfall. Good observation, Naruto. I've never even heard of him, Kakashi stated. Summoning Jutsu. Cute, Naruto shouted, and a fox double his size was summoned. May I ask who summoned me? The fox asked. I, Uzumaki Naruto, summoned you. What's your name? Kiraro, how may I assist you? Help us take care of that ninja over there. He pointed at Masamicho. He's in a ranked missing nin. It'll be my pleasure, Fire Style. Fox Flame, a flame that was shaped like a fox, went flying at Masamicho. Naruto had just called Wind Style, Breeze Hold, but before he caught him, he had escaped the fox flame, so Naruto's Breeze Hold went in vain. The bandit started to run away, but stopped and said, I'll be back. Then he vanished away. Naruto was about to chase after him, but Kakashi stopped him. Naruto, let him go. We were taken by surprise, so we need to rest. This mission is now a high B ranked mission, maybe even lower ranked. We will stay here for the night. Then when the morning comes, we will go looking for him. Also, we will take guard shifts once night hits. Okay, Sensei. It was around an hour after they had their encounter with Masamicho Hahoza that they finished making a small camp for them to stay at while they slept. It was still early and night was about 20 minutes away, so Kakashi sent Naruto and Sasuke to go catch some fish or anything else to eat. Naruto and Sasuke returned to the camp with 20 small fish, 1 deer, and a raccoon. Nice catch, Sasuke and Naruto. I didn't expect you to get this much. I only expected at most 10 fish, Kakashi said. Well, we would have caught more if the dobe over here didn't make the fish scatter and the second deer run by yelling that he fell, Sasuke said in an annoyed voice. How is it my fault that I fell after I heard something in the bushes? For all I knew, it could have been Masamicho. Achin, Sasuke grunted. When you fell, you said a hawk attacked you. Sakura just started thinking whether or not Naruto would attract enough bad luck to get attacked by a hawk. There was then a silence, and Team 7-8. Naruto, being Naruto, ate 9 fish, most of the deer, and just a piece of the raccoon. Sasuke ate 4 fish, most of the raccoon, and just 1 deer rib. Sakura only ate 2 fish, a piece of the deer, and she wouldn't even touch the raccoon, saying that it's not real food. Kakashi ate the rest of the raccoon, the rest of the fish, and ate some deer. Then in the end, there was still half the deer left, so Kakashi decided to seal it away. Hey Kakashi-sensei, how do you do that? You take stuff and always put it on paper, and it just disappears, Naruto asked interestedly. Well, Naruto, this is what we, shinobi, call the sealing art. I'm only proficient at it. Your chakra seals are a form of this sealing art. Edit note. It seems while originally writing this chapter 1 forgot that Naruto learned storage seals in Wave Sai. Sasuke was listening and he heard chakra seals and he asked, where did he come across chakra seals? I read about them once, and they are said to be very rare, that only an elite sealer can create them, and you'd have to be at least a novice at Fuinjutsu to even upgrade their weights. Thank you, Sasuke, for saying that, but where Naruto got the weights from, when directly talked about, they will be called chakra seals, when not they will be weights. Sorry for any confusion here. Is up to him to tell you or not, Kakashi said, then continued. As I was saying, your chakra seals are a form of this sealing art. They are very complicated and can't just be made by anyone. Seal masters are few. Konoha only has Jiraiya the Sannin as its seal master. Why is sealing important? Naruto asked. Also, team, the Hokage gave me these as a present, if you must know. Well, to most, sealing is just storing stuff, which is still important because it lets it become easier to access. But sealing could do a lot of stuff, making a lot of things easier. You can carry 10 pounds and not feel it all, or you can carry kunai and shuriken and just take them out of the scroll instead of carrying them out in the open. Kakashi explained that bit. Then Sasuke interrupted. Why don't they teach us sealing in the academy? Kakashi then explained the whole reason why Fuinjutsu isn't taught at the academy. And he also explained to Naruto in more detail how it is useful. After Kakashi was done saying what he had on it, Naruto became interested in it. He had asked Kakashi to teach him, but Kakashi said the only things he could teach them would be storage scrolls and how to use explosive tags. Kakashi told them he'd teach them both of those once they got back to Konoha, because it was a skill known by most Chunin anyways. They then started guard shifts, and the rest went to sleep. In the morning, they all woke up at around 6 a.m., and Kakashi had them remove everything that they had set the prior night. Once they got everything they needed, Kakashi used a minor D ranked fire jutsu, fire style, heat flare. It was only D ranked because it only created a small normal fire that couldn't do much damage. Okay, team, I want you guys to come up with how we're going to do this mission. Kakashi said, Sakura, your idea first. We can have Naruto spam shadow clones around to find the location of the base. And once he finds it, he has it dispel. Then we all go to that location. Good now, Sasuke. When we get there, we should be as quiet as possible and kill fast and silent. Edit note. I'm going to have to eventually figure out a way to have killing affect them. It shouldn't be easy for them. Lastly, Naruto. I spammed them with my just do. Try again, Kakashi said with a sigh. I use Into the Shadows and infiltrate the place, kill someone, then henge into them. All of Team Seven's jaws dropped at that question. That was actually a perfect thing to do. And because of Naruto's jutsu, it was possible and easy. And this way he could find information at the same time. When Kakashi thought about it, Naruto would be able to do high-ranked infiltration missions easier than any normal person would, because he didn't have to wait for someone to leave a place. He could just go in. Actually, Naruto, that's a genius idea. So Naruto creates shadow clones to look for the camp location. Then once you find a habit dispel, then we all go there, kill the bandits quietly. Then you go into the camp with what you said change into a bandit, and each time you find a higher up you switch. We want you to find information as well. 5 minutes after Naruto sent out shadow clones, a clone found the location. Team 7 went to the location, but found 2 bandits guarding the camp. So Kakashi told Sasuke to make one clone and kill the bandits. Sasuke did so. Naruto then infiltrated the camp by using Into the Shadows. Kit, you should let them find your location, QB said. Shut up, Fox. I promised you freedom at times, not risking myself. But if you let them find you, then you can enjoy a fight, and that Masamicho guy might show up again. Shut up. Suit yourself. Naruto continued to walk around silently until he found a bandit. He quickly killed him, then he hid his body in a trash can. What? It's Naruto. And then he started walking around forgetting that he was supposed to find some intel. Naruto walked around some more, and while doing so, he killed a few more bandits. He felt bad that he was killing all these people, even if they were just scum, but he knew it was for the greater good. Naruto then spotted Masamicho, and he froze for a second. But since Masamicho didn't hear them, he decided that he could just hear their conversation. Yes, leader, we'll kill Sharingan Kakashi's team for you, but we are no match for Kakashi himself. Are you going to disobey my order and not kill the whole team? But leader, we can't. Masamicho killed him with lightning style, electric fist. Does anyone else think they can't kill the whole team? No, sir, the remaining 3 bandits said. Of course my master would let his bandits do his easy work, another voice said. Once the person who said that entered the room, the 3 bandits left and were going to do their task. Zaytu, I want you to go with them in case they fail. If anything, they will die, but Kakashi will be worn down enough for you to kill. Naruto recognized the guy as Zeta Hondo, B-ranked missing Nin from IWA. Very well. Once Zeta left, Naruto knew he'd have to go inform his team, because he knew that Masamicho wasn't dumb enough to think that 3 bandits and an ex-Chunin would beat Kakashi, so he would surely come afterwards. Naruto found Kakashi and the team before the bandits. Kakashi-sensei, 3 bandits, and B-ranked Zeta Hondo are coming to try and kill us. Masamicho didn't say he was going to join in, but he isn't dumb enough to think an ex-Chunin and 3 bandits would kill us. Smarter than we thought, a voice came from away. Fire style, fire vortex, Sasuke shouted. Just because you know Masamicho-sama will come won't help you, Zetsu said. Earth style, earth spears, the spears hit no one. They all continued fighting for a while, and the 3 bandits were killed. Sorry, I suck at fight scenes. And it's 9 p.m. right now, and I want this to still be posted Thursday. because if it's not posted today, it won't be till Saturday at the least. Then Masamicho appeared. Zaydu, why doesn't Kakashi look tired? Edit note. I might leave this as is, or I might come back and write out a proper fight scene. But regardless, once I start writing new chapters again, fight scenes will be better. Sorry, Masamicho-sama, but I couldn't get anywhere once he revealed his Sharingan not too long ago. Very well, I'll just finish him with my best jutsu. But you'll die. You'll take over the bandits then, but it's either kill Kakashi and die alone, or all of us die, and all of this would have gone to waste. I won't disappoint you, Master. Forbidden art, fire from the hells. Kakashi's eyes widened at hearing that name. How? He asked, shocked. That jutsu disappeared 20 years ago. Well, since you'll die here, anyways, I'll tell you that the creator was my grandfather. It disappeared from everyone but my father, who taught it to me. Everyone run, Kakashi yelled. Team 7 ran on cue, but it seemed pointless once the jutsu's effect worked. A hole came out of the earth, and a pit of fire came about. Run faster, only one person has ever survived this technique, and that was the fourth. The team ran faster than they originally did, but it seemed hopeless when suddenly they saw the technique stop. What happened? Naruto asked as he stopped. Kakashi looked around looking to see what happened, but he didn't even know. The jutsu should have lasted until it took its target, or if the target had moved far enough away from its target, and they couldn't have gotten that far yet. Kakashi then looks again, and he sees Masamicho barely walking towards them. Kakashi Itaki, I almost killed you. I am sorry, I will die soon, but please forgive me. When I used this jutsu on Minato Namikaze, and he escaped, I promised him, if he'd let me live, I'd never kill anyone who was close to him. I forgot you were his student, Masamicho said. It's no problem, Kakashi said, not knowing what else to do. What, this guy almost kills us, and you say it's no problem? Sakura yelled. I know I shouldn't be forgiven that easily, but I probably would have kept the jutsu up had I not realized you had the 4THS sun with you. What's he talking about, Kakashi-sensei? Sasuke asked. Our fourth never had any kids. Team, what you are about to be told right now is the village's only triple S ranked secret, Kakashi said, knowing they won't let it down. Naruto, I just need you to promise you won't overreact. Why would I overreact? The fourth has a son, so what? He's probably some snobby kid who thinks he owns everything. Just promise. Fine, Kakashi-sensei. I promise I won't overreact when I find out who his son is. Sakura was the first one to come to a realization, and she just was shocked and just stood there. Once Sasuke saw her just freeze, he realized why. And he just thought, how could the village be so blind? They're exact copies, aside from the whiskers. So, who is he? Naruto asked like an impatient little brat. Well, Naruto, look in a mirror and you'll find out, Kakashi said, knowing that the other two already figured out. He hoped that hint would be enough. Well, there's no mirror here, so you're saying I have to wait till we get back to Konoha. Everyone, even the dying Masamicho, face-palmed at that statement. Stupid brat, it's you, Masamicho said, coughing up blood. Naruto took a second to take that in. Then he started thinking back at all the signs and noticed that he was actually the son of the fourth. He also realized why he was chosen to be the host of Kurama. because his father couldn't choose another parent's kid. My idol has always been my father, Naruto said in awe. Naruto, I know this is a lot to take in, but you have to focus. We need to finish the mission and destroy the bandit camp. Hataki, no you don't, Masamicho said. My jutsu accidentally destroyed it. Now, please let me die honorably and kill me. Thank you, and I forgive you for sensei, Kakashi said. Then he killed Masamicho with a Chidori. Well, team, let's get back to the village. You can all talk about what happened here to each other there, Kakashi said. Naruto, you. Kakashi got cut off. It's Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Mother remains unknown. Now let us in so I can have a major talk with the old man, because I'm confused right now and need answers as Zumo and Kotetsu just stared in awe. Go right ahead, as Zumo said. Thank you, Kakashi said. Team 7 started walking towards the Hokage's office once again. They just passed by a lot of people and shops and didn't stop or say a word. The whole team knew they needed to get to the Hokage now because Naruto never acts out, and Kakashi knew they had to get there because Sasuke and Sakura never said anything. After 5 minutes of slow walking, they finally arrived to the Hokage's office. Enter, the Hokage said. Yes, Hokage-sama, we have a lot to report. First off, we were at the camp. Okay, old man, why the fuck did one ever tell me that my father was the fourth fucking Hokage? Answer me that. I always looked up to you, and you always told me you didn't know who my parents were. Naruto began crying. What else have you been hiding from me? I looked up to you. Why couldn't you tell me? I grew up always wondering who my parents were, and if they even loved me. Now I find out from an A-ranked missing mean that my father was the fourth, the fucking person who sealed the furball inside of me. The freaking nine-tailed fox. Since you're gonna hide stuff like that from me, I don't want to see you again. And with that, he used into the shadows and disappeared. The aged Hokage dropped his pipe and just didn't know what to say at all. Team 7 dismissed. Kakashi, you stay, we need to talk. Kakashi knew that this talk with the Hokage was going to be the worst one he's ever had to do. Okay, Kakashi mind explaining how young Naruto knows who his father is? It's a long story. It starts with us finding the bandit camp. Kakashi then gave the Hokage the story in detail, explaining that they saw Masamicho, how he escaped, and they found him again. He even brought into the detail of how Masamicho used his suicide jutsu, but in the end only stopped it because he saw the fourth in Naruto. Even in death, he protects his student and his son. Hiruzen Tsurutobi just looked at the picture of Minato he had on his wall and realized how much he had done in his 24 years of living. That's sensei for you, Kakashi said so. What are you going to do about Naruto? He seems pretty pissed off. I've never seen him that angry. He didn't even have that amount of anger when he became cloaked with the Kyuubi's chakra back in wave. Kakashi, I honestly don't know. I've failed him, and because I failed him, I fail Minato. I should have told Naruto who his parents were when he became a genin, but I decided to wait until he was jonin. Naruto even made Chunin already, so it proved to me that he was growing up at an amazing pace, but it never once came to mind that I should tell him his father was Minato Namikaze, our fourth, and Kushina Uzumaki. Knowing Naruto, all he needs is time. If I may request, can we have 1 week off because I don't think anyone on the team is ready for missions. Very well, Kakashi, the old Hokage, then reaches into his desk and gets out a sack of money. Here's 800,000 Rio for a mission success. It was supposed to only be a C ranked, but because of all that happened, it's an A plus ranked mission. Oh, and Kakashi split the pay evenly to Archunin now, so no more taking a majority of the pay. Yes, Hokage-sama. With Naruto. Naruto just went to his house and laid down. He wasn't in a mood to see anyone, and he wasn't going to eat even though he was hungry because he ran out of instant ramen. All he needed was time to think. Naruto's stomach rumbled. Maybe a quick stop to Ichiraku will help a little, calm my mind. Hopefully I don't see anyone. Naruto raced out his house and ran to get some ramen from his favorite ramen stand. He would have gotten there already had he not ran into Shikamaru by accident. He scratches the back of his head. Sorry, Shikamaru. I was just on my way to Ichiraku's to get some ramen. Troublesome blonde straight face, I know you love ramen, but why would you be running full speed? I just want to get a bite after my mission. Shikamaru analyzed the situation and realized, why would you run when you can just use into the shadows? Troublesome, I know you aren't that dumb. What's bugging you? It's nothing. Okay, then let's go to Ichiraku. Shikamaru knew something was going on because Naruto always used into the shadows when he had a chance, and it was almost second nature to him. So if he had so much on his mind that he forgot to use it, then it was something big. No, Shikamaru, it's fine. You don't have to come. I was going to get lunch at the steakhouse anyways, so why not go with you? This is exactly what Naruto had hoped wouldn't happen. He was hoping he wouldn't have to interact with anyone, but he knew Shikamaru wasn't going to budge, so he wouldn't leave without finding out. So it turns out he'll have to tell someone what's happening. Fine. Ichiraku ramen. Okay, spill it, Shikamaru said right after they placed their orders, and Naruto only ordered 2 bowls. Shikamaru, please don't say any of this to anyone else. I'm only telling you because I know you won't leave me be unless you find out. Troublesome. Fine. Well, I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko, Naruto said with a completely normal voice. Shikamaru literally fell out of his chair, then got up and sat down, and just sat there thinking. Can you repeat your family name again, please? Uzumaki Namikaze. Back in the academy, weren't you only Uzumaki? Troublesome. Shikamaru thought about it for a second, then realized, how could the village be so blind? You're the 4th son, aren't you? Also, I knew the history books in the academy were sketchy, because they said you couldn't kill a tailed beast, yet said the 4th killed the Kyuubi, the strongest of all tailed beasts. So you have the Kyuubi inside of you? Troublesome, how is that? Whoa, Shika, you took all of this better than I did when I found all of this out. Also want to meet Kurama? Troublesome, I think stuff out first. Shikamaru said knowing Naruto wouldn't know he called him stupid. Then he realized Naruto asked want to meet Kurama? Wait, who's Kurama? He then took a bite out of his ramen. Kurama is the Kyuubi. Shikamaru just spit out his ramen out at this, and the ramen went on to I am hit Shikamaru in the head with a pot. Troublesome women, he said under his breath. Now Naruto. Why would I want to meet the creature that almost destroyed Konoha? Even though he was smart, he couldn't see a reason in meeting the beast itself. He knew the beast wasn't Naruto, though. Because he's a fur ball, and I promised him freedom at times? Naruto said, not knowing why Shikamaru was overreacting. You promised the Kyuubi freedom? Shikamaru yelled, and Naruto was just lucky there was no civilians around at the time, and that it was only Tucci and I am who heard this. Now, kid, why would you yell that when you could get mobs after Naruto for that? Tucci asked, Naruto, what does he mean you promised the demon freedom? Ayam was just staring clueless at what was happening. Naruto scratches his head. Well, I'll show you guys, and I promise nothing bad will happen. Just promise not to tell anyone. Naruto continued when Tucci gave him an odd eyebrow Gigi nose. Okay, let me close up the shop. Tucci then said, Naruto, you're lucky. I like you, otherwise I wouldn't trust what will happen. Thanks, old man. Tucci finished closing up and asked, Okay, Naruto, what do you mean by giving the demon freedom? With Sasuke and Sakura at Training Ground 7. Sasuke and Sakura were just standing at the training ground thinking that they were training with the son of a Kage and were on his team. They honestly didn't know what to think of this. The loser and dope of their class was now someone important, and all of this was because of one stupid mission gone wrong. What do you think of all of this, Sasuke? Naruto being the son of the fourth. Sakura asked. Sasuke just stood there looking to the sky, as if he just realized something bigger than Naruto being the son of a Hokage. A Hokage who is said to have no family whatsoever. He's like me. Confused, Sakura asked, What do you mean? He is from a clan that is no more. The Namikaze clan. He's alone like me. He fully understands me. And I used to think there was no one out there who would ever understand my pain. But for him, it's worse. He has in him the thing that killed the last of his family. For me, I don't have to duel with the killer every day of my life. He does. Sakura didn't know what to say. She just stood there wordless. We've learned enough for today. I'm leaving with that Sasuke left. In the Hokage's office. The Hokage just sat in his chair, hoping the other villages don't get word of Naruto being in Namikaze soon, because he is still young and won't be able to hold off against the top of the top. He had just sent out the AMBU operative cat to find Naruto, so that he can see the Namikaze mansion. It had everything that was left there from his father and mother, and the aged Hokage hoped he would find out about his mother there. The only reason the mansion has been untouched is because of Minato's experience with seals. Not even Yuriya can get into it, and he can get into anywhere. It's a blood seal where you need Minato's blood to get in, and he hoped it worked for Naruto. The cat operative entered his office. So, cat, did you get young Naruto and show in the mansion? No, Hokage-sama. I could not find Naruto anywhere around all of Konoha. I even checked his most visited places, the monument, his house, and Ichiraku's. He wasn't at any, and Ichiraku's was closed. The Hokage looked at Cat, whom was his most trusted ANBU, and best ANBU he's ever had since Kakashi's Hound. And to see Cat not find Naruto was shocking. Then he realized his last statement. What do you mean Ichiraku's is closed? They don't close for another 3 hours. The Hokage knew something was going on. Cat, follow me and bring Eagle and Wolf. We're going to Ichiraku's. With the Hokage. The Hokage continued walking towards the ramen stand, and after a good 6-minute walk, he arrived there. Okay, Cat, I want you to go inside and check. Eagle, I want you to watch the entrance. Wolf, stand next to me. A few seconds later, they heard the cries of Naruto. Ow, ow, ow. Let go of my hair, Naruto said when Cat dragged him out by his hair. Look what I found. I found him with a shadow clone shaped like the Kyuubi no Kitsune. He was also in front of 2 people who didn't know about the Kyuubi. Cat, look back, come out. with Kat saying that Ayam and her father and Shikamaru all came out. Troublesome, muttered Shikamaru. Cat, Wolf, Eagle, come inside the shop. You four as well, the Hokage said. We need to find out what has happened. Everyone present enters the small ramen shop. The ENBU are on guard because they notice the shadow clone Kyuubi is still there. Okay, Naruto-kun, now that we are here, mind telling me why you summoned the Kyuubi in Konoha? Even if it's only the size of a bear cub. The Hokage asked because he knew that if someone wrong saw that they'd freak out and start a mob, but this time it'd be mostly ninja, and he cared for Naruto. Hokage-sama called the furball by his name. I don't need him bitching inside of me once I unsummon him. Naruto said. It was very obvious that he was still pissed at the aged Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, because he never called him Hokage-sama. Hokage-sama Naruto Uzumaki has just admitted to releasing the Kyuubi. We should sentence him to death, Eagle said. Eagle-san, you're out of line, Kat said. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Kat emphasized on Namikaze, is allowed to talk about the Kyuubi around anyone, and if he releases it in this form, it can't harm us. Also, Hokage-sama already knows about Namikaze and being able to summon Kyuubi. I know earlier I thought it was just a shadow clone hinge, but I also know about this. Also, why do you think Hokage-sama had us bring Wolf? It's in case anything does happen. Sorry, Cat. Eagle said, knowing he was out of line. He used to despise Naruto, but after he started seeing him and watching him, he knew Naruto was just an ordinary kid with a beast inside of him. Eagle also trusted in the Yondame's ceiling, but seeing the Kyuubi made him forget all of that. Okay, Naruto, now that everyone knows that you can summon Kurama, can you please explain why Tucci closed his ramen stand? The Hokage asked. Anything for you, Hokusan, Naruto said with a slight attitude. Well, after I left your office for hiding my fucking heritage, I went home. I was going to stay there for a while, but I was out of instant ramen, so I decided to make a quick stop here to get a bowl of ramen to calm my mind. Then I was going to leave, but before I got here, I bumped into Shikamaru there. Naruto continued his story, explaining everything and every why. After Naruto finished his story, the aged Hokage said, Okay, Naruto, only reason I'm not doing anything is because you are an exception to the law placed about not telling anyone about the Kyuubi. Hiruzen noticed that Naruto just looked at him because he was the Hokage, and that if he wasn't, he would be ignoring him completely. Naruto, I came out here in search of you. Why? Are you going to tell me that you'll never tell me other stuff? Or are you here to attempt to make up hiding my parents from me? I grew up alone just wishing my parents loved me, but I would never know. I grew up in hate. Hokage-sama, I don't think I'll forgive you for what you did. I used to look up to you as a grandfather, and that's why I always called you Gigi, but a grandfather would never hide my parentage away from me. Everyone present just looked shocked. They all knew what he was saying was true. They all wanted to deny it, but none could. In front of everyone was the true face of Naruto Uzumaki, the face he hid away very well without anyone even noticing the slightest hint of it for many years. Naruto was just a kid who had no one to care for him. All he needed was care and love, and those for Naruto would probably be harder than doing the impossible. Naruto, I don't expect you to ever forgive me, and I know I've wronged you too much. So take this key. Hiruzen handed him the key that is from Minato's mansion. This is the key to your father's mansion. Naruto, I want you to go there. We left that place untouched because I was planning on telling you everything and giving you everything once you became a Jonin. Thank you, Hokage-sama, now, if you don't mind. Me and Shikamaru are going to go visit the place. Troublesome, why me? Shika asked. Very well, the Hokage said. And Naruto, I know it doesn't matter now, but I truly am sorry. With Naruto and Shikamaru after they left. Okay, where did the Hokage say this was? Naruto asked Shikamaru. They were a good 6-minute walk away from the ramen stand, and Naruto was getting frustrated. Naruto wanted to find this place now. Shikamaru just continued walking because he knew something was wrong with Naruto. It is this way, Naruto, he said. I'm actually shocked you didn't send shadow clones to find it. This is something I have to find myself, and not a copy of me. Troublesome, Shikamaru looked up and saw a place that looked different. I think this is it. Naruto's eyes widened at how huge it looked. It wasn't tall, but it was long. Naruto was just thinking moment of truth. He was actually terrified of entering. Naruto walked up to the door and noticed that the key the Hokage gave him was no longer there. He decided to walk anyways. He noticed that as he touched the door, it just opened and realized there was a seal of some sort. Then the door shut. He wished he knew more about seals. Shikamaru, what just happened? The door opened and then closed, and some sort of seal appeared. Shikamaru inspected the seal for a while. He knew next to nothing about how seals work or what they do, but he could tell what an explosive tag and storage seal looked like. He looked closer and then said, "This is a type of seal most don't make anymore. It's called a blood seal. You have to have the right blood to get in." Damn it, Naruto said angrily. I come all the way here to find out. If I don't have the right blood, it won't open. Troublesome blonde. No, because you have the fourth blood in you, so you could access it. Remember how you summoned the Kai? A Kurama? Do the same, but no hand seals. Just put blood on the seal. Naruto did as Shikamaru told him and bit his thumb, then slammed it onto the seal. Right after Naruto did that, the doors opened and both Naruto and Shikamaru were let in. Naruto just started walking, leaving Shikamaru once they got inside. He was looking at how big the place really was and how it was actually his. The first room he ended up entering turned out to be the room that was supposed to be his. It had baby stuff like clothes and chew toys and a baby crib, which was just a small thing that was decorated by what seemed to be an artist. He was looking around and saw a sign that said, "Welcome to your home, Naruto," and he just felt tears drop down his face. His parents went through a lot of trouble to make him, a baby who wouldn't understand anything, feel at home. He then went into another room, and it was his parents' room. He looked around and saw a picture. The picture was of his father and a beautiful red-haired woman. She looked heavenly with her pale skin, her amazing red hair that seemed to stand out from anything else. He then saw another picture, and it was of his father and that same woman, but that woman was pregnant. Naruto then realized that it was his mom. He just couldn't handle it, and he just cried on the floor beside it. He finally got to see what his mom looked like, and he wished he could see her, but he knew that would never happen. The next day, Naruto had let Shikamaru leave. Then he continued looking through the mansion last night. He found a journal of his father's that he would have his shadow clones read. He also found a lot of Fuinjutsu scrolls, a training ground, and a few scrolls on jutsu and elemental manipulation. I think it's time I head to the training ground. Naruto leaves the mansion and walks toward the training ground. I know this area was short, but I just wanted to add in what happened at the beginning of the day. Also, don't forget I'm a beginner writer. This is my first story. Training Ground 7. Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi had just arrived at the training ground. Kakashi Sensei, do you think Naruto will come today? Sakura asked. Kakashi took his head out of Ika paradise and just looked out into the distance. He felt guilt knowing he had failed his sensei's only child. After a few minutes of staring into the distance, he looks at Sakura and says, I honestly doubt he'll show up. He doesn't want to see me, and I can't blame him. I failed him. Right after Kakashi said that Naruto appeared within the shadows, proves how much you know me, Naruto gave Kakashi an angry glare. I did show up. And no, you didn't just fail me. You failed my father. Kakashi looks down, not expecting Naruto to show up, and never expecting Naruto to actually say that he failed him. I'm sorry was all he could mutter. Naruto takes out a journal and opens a page. Then he tosses it to Kakashi. Read line 5. He noticed Kakashi started reading it, then said out loud. Kakashi gulped at this because he read the first few words and knew how this was going to end. When Naruto grows up, I want him to see Kakashi as an older brother and Jiraiya as a grandfather. I know Kakashi and Jiraiya would both love him and care for him when I'm away on missions. Once he is born, I'll entrust him to either of them when needed. I trust my sensei, and my student Kakashi just looked in horror at how much he actually did fail Naruto. I don't know who this Jiraiya person is, but you became my sensei. Naruto put his hand out wanting the journal back, and Kakashi gave it to him. He put a lot of trust in you, and you dishonored it. I also like how you use the saying, those who abandon the rules are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are below scum, yet you couldn't even honor your dead sensei. Kakashi couldn't believe what he was hearing. He wanted this to just be a bad nightmare, but sadly he knew it wasn't. He wanted to get away, but he couldn't leave. Naruto, that's enough. You can't attack Sensei like that, Sakura shouted at Naruto. Pinky, I honestly don't know why I ever had a crush on you, Naruto said. Now, since you don't know what we were talking about, stop talking. You aren't worthy of being a ninja if you're a fangirl. So if you want ninjas to show that they like you, stop bitching and become a ninja. Also don't, but into what isn't your business. What me and Kakashi are talking about is between us only. Naruto was furious right now. He found out so much in just a few days, and he was angry at so many people. He looked around the training field to see if anyone had anything to say, and all he saw was Kakashi face down, Sakura with a face of shock, and Sasuke just standing there with his Sharingan eyes. Naruto, I know you'll never forgive me, but can you at least accept me as your sensei? Kakashi said, we need to train. Sure, but you are right, I'll never forgive you, the Hokage, or whoever this Jiraiya is. Naruto and the rest of Team 7 continued training. Both Naruto and Sasuke learned the beginning of the rock part of their elemental manipulation, and Sakura was still only 75% of the way done with the leaf part. Today was a bad day for everyone. He has been 6 days since everything has happened. Naruto calmed down and could now seem himself again. He would still remember everything, and he will take training more seriously now. Naruto hated a certain few, but wouldn't show it, and he wanted to surpass his father. Naruto started learning some Fuinjutsu. He found a few books made by his dad that were in parts on Fuinjutsu. The levels on the books went from beginner to advanced. He decided to just check the books to see if his father left any notes in them. And on the last page of Advanced Fuinjutsu, he found a note that said, "To receive the Master Fuinjutsu book, you must perform the seal located on here." Then it showed a seal. Naruto was in the mansion's training ground with 105 shadow clones, each spread into groups of 20, with one supervising each group. Group 1 was training on chakra control. Group 2 was training on doing jutsu with as few hand seals as possible, because he read in notes his dad left him that taking away seals from a jutsu is possible, but it takes more focus, and that it'll make it harder for enemies to tell what he will perform. Group 3 was working on elemental manipulation. Naruto could now cut half a rock. Group 4 was learning Fuinjutsu. Right now, Naruto could make paper bombs in under 3 minutes, small storage seals in under 5 minutes, medium ones in around 7 minutes, and larger ones in about 15 minutes. He was going to make some and sell them for money. The last group, Group 5, was learning politics. Minato had left Naruto notes stating that being a Hokage, you needed to know politics and be diplomatic. Naruto decided to leave the clones behind to do something or see someone. Okay, the 5 in charge come here. After he said that 5 clones came to him, I want you to replace any clone that dispel. Also, I want you to tell each clone here aside from you 5 that they are to dispel themselves every 20 minutes. Sure thing, boss, they all said at the same time, then started to walk away. But the real Naruto stopped them. Wait, make sure you do it group by group, starting with chakra control, ending with politics. Naruto remembered he did the same thing yesterday, and all 100 dispelled at the same time. The clones nodded their heads and then went back to their groups. After they were back with their groups, Naruto left the training area, then left the house. Naruto was walking in the streets, then he saw Team 8 with their sensei Kurenai Yuhi. I think it's spelled with 2 U's, but I'll leave it at 1 until someone tells me otherwise. "Hey Hinata, Kiba, Shino," Naruto shouted, and then Kurenai gave him a death glare, and he froze for a second, then said, "Hey Kurenai-sensei." Her evil glare turned to her famous sweet smile, "Hello, Naruto." All of Team 8 said at the same time, "Hey dude, hell, hello, Naruto-kun, you actually remembered me. You can all tell who's who." "What are you guys doing?" Naruto asked, because he usually never saw teams with their sensei out of training or mission. "I was taking my team out to get lunch," Kurenai said with a smile. "Wait, are you going to lunch then training, or lunch then a mission?" Kurenai had just remembered that Naruto had problems with his team for what she heard. "My team got a day off after their first C rank mission yesterday, so I decided to treat them to lunch today since we didn't get back until last night." Naruto just looked for a while without saying anything. He was confused. He didn't know why Kurenai would just randomly treat her team out, but why? Kurenai looked at him, noticing it was hurting him that no one ever took him anywhere. Because of what is in him, they did good, so it's a little reward. "Naruto, do you want to come?" Naruto lightened up a little. "Kurenai-sensei, I can't. If you were rewarding your team, I couldn't come." Naruto honestly wanted to go, but after Kurenai said it was celebrating her team, he just couldn't bring himself to go. "I'm sure my team won't mind," she said with a smile, "right, team?" "Yes, I would not mind at all to acquaintance Naruto at our lunch. Yeah, Naruto we don't mind. I will with Lee. Leek. Like you to Ko. Me Naruto. Naruto didn't know what to say. He was being accepted for the first time. He wanted to go, but still couldn't bring himself to go. He felt like he would just be going because of an invite, and he didn't do anything to earn it. This is a lunch for your team, Kurenai-sensei. I didn't do anything to deserve coming. Kurenai didn't want to leave Naruto alone, because she knew he was hurting inside. Naruto, how about we make this a late Chunin promotion lunch? Kiba almost choked at hearing that wait. The rumors of Naruto being Chunin were true. I didn't believe Ino, because he wasn't bragging about it. Con gratulations Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled. Okay, thank you, Kurenai-sensei. Kurenai told Naruto they were going to the Akimichi steakhouse, and he accepted gratefully. Team 8 and Naruto started walking to the steakhouse. They had a few talks with each other on the way there, and Hinata's stuttering started to lessen as they got closer to the steakhouse. Kiba was just shocked at how both Naruto and Sasuke already made Chunin. And he got even more shocked when Akamaru decided to ride on Naruto's head. After 10 minutes of walking, they arrived at the steakhouse and entered. Chozo was the one who would be waiting them. Good afternoon. How may I serve you? He asked. We'd like 5 orders of steak, the ice mistress said. Very well, Chozo said as he left to go to the kitchen. Chozo returned with the meat, and they all started cooking it the way they wanted. Kurenai made hers well done. Kiba made his rare. Shino and Hinata made theirs medium rare. And Naruto made his medium well. As they were eating, they decided to talk a little. Kurenai mentioned that her team was participating in the Chunin exams, which would come in 2 weeks. Naruto liked the fact that his academy friends will get the chance to become Chunin like him. They all finished eating, and Naruto took out his wallet to pay for himself. But Kurenai stopped him. Right when Kurenai told him she'd pay, Naruto fell to the floor and held his head. Naruto, are you okay? Both Kurenai and Hinata asked. Yeah. Stupid clones. I told them to dispel group by group, which they've done until now. Naruto said, still rubbing his head. What do you mean, Naruto? Kurenai asked curiously. Naruto then explained how he has his clones train while he does normal stuff, and that it's fine because of his chakra. He explained in detail to them what he was learning, and all of Team 8 were shocked, and they all now knew he was definitely Chunin material. They then said their goodbyes, and Naruto made his way home. Next morning, Naruto woke up early and decided to do the training again. He went to his private training ground and made the groups of clones and specified once again that they were to dispel in groups, not all at once. After he did that, he ate breakfast and was thinking of what to do for the day. He decided he'd make one clone to look at his dad's library to check for anything that would be useful. Then he'd go to a movie or something. He just realized he really never did anything that was fun except his pranks. Right when he was about to leave the mansion, he saw an ANBU. How may I help you, ANBU-san? Naruto is starting to mature, and it's because he is still sorta angry. Once this blows off, if I let it blow off, tongue sticking out, you'll have to wait to see if I do or don't. He'll return back to the normal Naruto, who has no formalities. Hokage-sama requests your presence in his office right away. Very well, I'll be right there. At the Hokage Tower. Where is this last person? The creepy voice of Anko Mitarashi. We were all told to be here at 7 a.m. sharp. The people that were in the Hokage Tower were Anko, Ibiki Marino, some nameless Chunin, Hate Gecko, and Ginma Shiranui. Patience Anko, this last person was not informed until this morning, and it seems my EMB didn't tell him what time to show up at the Hokage, said, smoking his pipe. Hokage-sama, I thought a person who still has at least one genin can't help with the exams. So why is Kakashi coming? Gama asked, thinking it was Kakashi coming. The Hokage gave a small chuckle and then said, it's not Kakashi, Ginma. It's someone else, and he'll be here soon. Right after he said that, Naruto appeared and right away said, what do you need me for? Everyone knew something was wrong because Naruto seemed ticked off. Naruto then looked around and saw other people there. Is this a mission? We were waiting on a little brat. Ibiki asked. How's a runt like him going to help? Anko asked. Okay, Naruto-kun, I need you to help set up the Chunin exams. Ibiki, yes, we were waiting on young Naruto. And Anko, you've seen his pranks, right? The Hokage replied to all. Why me? Naruto asked. Well, because you're the best candidate to booby-trap the Forest of Death, so it's more dangerous, but remains as deadly as it currently is. The Hokage then told everyone of what they would be doing, Ibiki proctoring the first part of the exams, and the random Chunin there has helped to spot people out, Anko and Naruto, to make the Forest of Death more dangerous, and to proctor the second part of the exam. Lastly, Hate being the main proctor of the last part of the exam, and if for some reason he can't, then Ginma takes his place. The Hokage also gave some extra details and told them they were to start right away with preparing. They all left, and Anko left with Naruto to the Forest of Death. At the Forest of Death. Edit note. I see I left a note in this next paragraph saying I didn't research. Well, I'll tell you guys I am going to be looking up stuff in future chapters, just for accuracy, unless of course something I've done in here is the reason for a change. Okay, Squirt, there's entrances all around this forest, and they're all marked here. There's 50 entrances in total. I don't do much research when writing, so if I'm wrong here, please don't bug me saying I'm wrong. All I really search is last names cause I can never remember those. Each entrance leads to a different area of the forest. I'll give you this map. Anko shows him a map. It contains what's at each door, so you're prepared when you go in, because we can't be in the same area at once. This needs to be done in 1 week, and each area will take a while. Also, I have one rule for you. You can look, but you can't touch. Anko then leaned forward, exposing some cleavage, and Naruto turned lobster red. Naruto recovered from the embarrassment and said, okay, let's get to work. I'll just make a clone to have all the clones at the mansion dismiss. Naruto then makes a clone and had it dispel. Then after 2 minutes, all of his clones have been dispelled. Naruto then made 49 clones and said, go to gates 1 to 3 and 5 to 50. Make clones as needed, and let's use seals here to make it more interesting. Anko was shocked at what Naruto did. She heard the rumors that the kid could create a lot of clones, but making 49 clones and telling them to make clones is unbelievable. She was honestly going to like messing around with him. Well, I'll go to gate 4. I actually want to see these tigers. He picked this gate because it was the biggest area and he could summon a lot of foxes to help him out. Also, he knew that if anything happened, he had his summons to help. Naruto walked up to gate 4 and entered, and right when he entered, he was greeted by a tiger. He stared at the tiger and said nervously, "Nice kitty. You don't want to eat me." Naruto looked and saw that it seemed the tiger wanted him to follow it. He followed the tiger for a good 20 minutes and noticed he was in a place that looked amazing and indescribable. There were at least 30 tigers, and they all had their own dens embedded in a massive tree. He noticed one of the things was bigger than any other, and the tiger that led him to this place was looking at it. "Come forward, human who reeks of fox," a massive tiger said. It looked terrifying. It had a scar on its face, and its claws looked sharper than a normal tiger's, yet its fur looked cooler. "Awa, what?" Naruto said in shock. Huh? Oh, how are you talking?" The tiger looked annoyed. "You're the first human I let to this place since that Hashirama fella, and you can't even respect me? I am from a parallel dimension, and we, from parallel dimensions, rarely let humans see our presence." Naruto straightened up, but was still in fear. "Why would you meet with me if you haven't met with a human since Hashi? Wait, you knew the first Hokage?" The tiger leaped at Naruto, forcing him to take a step back. "All I want to know is why you smell of fox. A slight stench of animal is fine, but you reek of it." Naruto knew he had better answer honestly, so he said, "I am Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of Kurama, the nine-tailed fox. Power of human sacrifice? And you know his name? It seems you are interesting after all. Power of human sacrifice? And you know his name? It seems you are interesting after all." "What do you mean interesting after all?" Naruto asked. "Kit, this tiger has the same power as my one-tailed brother. He must be a parallel summon. They come from other dimensions," the Kyuubi told Naruto. "What do you mean?" "This is a summon that could fight demons." Naruto gulped. "I mean, you spiked my interest. Not even Hashirama found out Kurama's name until his last fight with Madara. Keep aware of him. I'll let you talk to him on your own." "Sure thing, Fuzz, but," Naruto said, which got him a roar from Kurama. "So why did you want to see me, Tiger-san?" "My name is Hanshin, and I wanted to meet you because you will change this world." Naruto raised an eyebrow at this, and then said, "How am I going to change this world?" "That is for you to find out. Farewell, and continue your adventure." Hanshin said that, and then walked away. Damn it, how am I going to change this world? Well, I meet Hanshin again. When the fox didn't answer him, he got really angry and just left the forest going back the way he originally came in, completely forgetting that he was setting traps. Naruto somehow had left the area he trapped up without setting off a single trap. 2 hours later, Naruto was sitting outside the forest gates doing some taijutsu stances. He was thinking about what Hanshin said. He didn't see how he, a mere person, could change the world. He knew he must get stronger if something strong enough that Kurama acknowledged it said he'd change the world. In the middle of taijutsu, training Anko came out of the forest. "Hey, brat, is the whole thing booby-trapped?" She then got a cheeky smile. "Not that you could trap mine." Naruto turned a deep red, and Anko enjoyed how easily he was to toy around with. 48 of the 49 clones dispelled so far. I'm just waiting for the last one. Naruto managed to get out even after what Anko had just said. "Damn it, brat, we had a whole week, and you were done within a day." Anko grinned a little, You must have a lot of stamina. Naruto just stood there wondering what Anko meant. He was completely clueless. Don't forget, he hasn't met Jiraiya yet. Naruto and Anko just stood around for 6 more minutes. Then Naruto's last clone dispelled, and he told Anko, okay, all traps are set. The Jinin joining this are going to have trouble. I can guarantee even some Jonin will get caught in some of these traps. Naruto then added none are lethal because I'm not as sick-minded as you. Anko felt hurt at him saying that. Why do you say that? She looked at him with puppy eyes. I've read your bingo book entry. He then takes out a bingo book and flips to her page and then gives it to her. Anko was very impressed. She now saw why the Hokage liked Naruto. He was talented. She then took a closer look at the bingo book and sees it's only 2 months old, so it was pretty much up to date. And after an even closer look, she noticed the front said, IW, this took all her focus. How does this brat have a recent IWA bingo book? The only available IWA one available to us are at least 3 years old. There's no way this Gaki got one from inside Konoha. So can I have my book back? He asked, putting his hand out. How the hell do you have this? Anko demanded, first off, you have to be at least a special Jonin to get a Konoha bingo book. Second, you need to be a Jonin to get any other villages, and those are usually 6 months old. Only elites have access to bingo books this current from other villages. Kakashi-senpai has the most recent IWA book known in Konoha and is 5 months old. Naruto was getting angry at Anko right now. I earned this like I earned from IWA Kyomo, Konoha, Suna, and Taki, all of which are only a month old except that one, because I can't just find an IWA bingo book. Naruto was already pissed at most of the village. Why did Anko have to question him about his possessions? Now I want my book back. And if you have any more questions, don't fucking ask them. Naruto took his book back and left. He wasn't needed for another week anyways. He needed to cool his mind. He knew it wasn't right to get angry at every little thing. He would go home and study some more Fuinjutsu to calm his mind, because for some reason, Fuinjutsu soothed his mind. A week later, 10 minutes before Genin entered the room to start the Chunin exams, Anko and Naruto both came to the gates of the Forest of Death. Anko didn't even look at Naruto. She knew she messed up a week ago. She knew she'd have to say something soon. Brat, I'm sorry about a week ago. Anko never said sorry and meant it to anyone in Konoha, but at the same time, she never straight out yelled at anyone in Konoha without reason. Just don't mention it. I checked the forest out yesterday, and I like the traps. I got hit by 2, and I never get hit by mere traps. Anko was trying to lighten the mood, because she knew she couldn't otherwise. Thanks, Naruto said in a voice showing his thanks, but at the same time showing he was angry. Well, we'll be here for another hour or so. Naruto didn't respond and just thought about how he could train during this time. In the past few weeks, Naruto noticed that Into the Shadows took a toll on him, meaning he needed to practice with it more to use it more often. He could right now do it 67 times without feeling tired, but after that, it just started feeling like a few thousand shadow clones. He would try to hold it for the whole duration of the wait. He read in his dad's notes that the more you use chakra, the more chakra reserves you gain, and if a jutsu that can be held for a duration is held for a long time, it would also increase the chakra control. So by maintaining Into the Shadows, he'd be working on both. Exam room, 50 minutes later. This is the last chance to back down. If you don't, and you get the question wrong, you'll remain a genin forever. Ibiki said, intimidating the young genin. All the Chunin sitting around give a nod to Ibiki, and then he says, "Very well, you all pass," Ibiki said. "What the hell?" yelled Kiba. "Where's the 10th question?" There was no 10th question. What was the point of that whole thing then? Temari asked. Ibiki takes off his bandana and shows the whole room all the scars. As Chunin, you are expected to go to missions that you know nothing about. You will have to risk it all, and one wrong piece of information can be deadly. The point of the 10th question was to see if you were willing to take the risk. Right after Ibiki said that, the window broke and a lady with a sign that said Number 1 Anko Mitarashi, Sexy Konoha Snake. "Hello, maggots." Anko takes a look at the people. "Damn it, Ibiki 32 teams. You must be getting soft. You're early. Again, where's the little squirt that's supposed to be with you?" "He's back at the forest training, probably," she says to Ibiki, then turns to the genin. "Well, follow me, maggots." Forest of Death. This is my playground that most know of as the Forest of Death. Although it is more dangerous than it used to be, she was implying Naruto's traps. Everyone was curious to what she meant. Hinata was the one to ask, "What do you mean more dangerous than it used to be?" Naruto saw his moment to appear. So he appeared behind Hinata. "She means I booby trapped the forest, Hinata-chan." Hinata was terrified at first, but when she finally had the guts to turn around, she saw it was Naruto. "Naruto-kun, what are you doing here?" Naruto scratched the back of his head. "Well, I am the assistant proctor, and I did set up traps in the forest. So why wouldn't I be here?" Hinata turned a bright red. "Naruto-kun is a proctor. I will pass these exams and never give up just like him." Teams 8, 9, 10, and Kabuto's team appeared after this little stunt by Naruto, and all of 8 and 10 greeted him, which he returned. Kabuto then decides to say something. Naruto Uzumaki, one of 2 genin to get a field promotion for the first time in many years. "Nice to meet you. I'm Kabuto Yakushi." "Hey, Kabuto," Naruto said, greeting the newcomer. Niji came up to Naruto. "I see you were fated to become Chunin, just as I'm going to become Chunin during these exams. A tip for all of you: avoid touching anything," Naruto said, then used into the shadows to leave. "What does he mean?" Kiba asked, and Akamaru just barked. The second part of the Chunin exams were about to begin. Every team was lined up. Teams 8 and 9 were wondering what the hell Naruto meant by "don't touch anything." Kabuto, however, knew exactly what he meant. He wasn't a spy for nothing. Kabuto didn't know what Naruto had in store for all of these mere genin, but he knew it was something because Naruto was Konoha's top prankster. Kabuto was actually pissed because he had to enroll in this Chunin exam without a goal. He found out too late that Sasuke got promoted to Chunin already, so he wouldn't be in the exams, and that was his goal. Kabuto honestly didn't want to see Orochimaru's reaction to this. 2 minutes had passed, and then finally all 50 gates opened, even the unused ones. Kabuto knew what he was going to do, and the whole ninja world wouldn't know who he was. I'm skipping the entire Chunin exams and just going to the part of the final test drawings. The Chunin exams will be seen in flashbacks. Edit note: classy writing by past me, don't y'all think? Smiley face. Naruto, Anko, the Hokage, and some Jonin were at the prelims area. Team 8, Team 9, Team Kabuto, Team 10, and Team Sound all passed the forest of death, although none without injuries. From Team 8, Kiba had got caught in a trap and had sprained his arm and got a few deep cuts on his legs. From Team 9, Niji's eyes were useless for now because a seal that burst out with chakra. Team Kabuto received the least beating, but Yoroi Akato somehow received chakra depletion from being near a seal. Team 10 had Ino really pissed off and wanted to kill Naruto. She knew that Naruto had something to do with the exams. She had lost half of her hair, sorta like Sakura in the anime/manga. From quite a few of the traps that were in the forest, she had been focusing on Naruto and was showing him some killer intent that most Jonin can't even do. Lastly, there was Team Sound, who had gotten the most out of the forest. All three members had a minimum of a sprain, and Dosu had broken his leg. Naruto was suddenly in fear. He was never in fear, but the Genin present had a combined killer intent higher than Zabuza did. We've had a vote, and despite the high number of you, you all will go to the finals. We were thinking about hosting a preliminary round, but didn't, the aged Suratobi said, standing on a cane with his pipe in his mouth. The finals will be held in 1 month time. During this time you may train. Now come up and draw a number. Kanata pulled 3, Kiba pulled 8, Shino pulled 14, Kabuto pulled 15, Yoroi pulled 4, Misumi pulled 5, Shikamaru pulled 1, Ino pulled 12, Choji pulled 9, Niji pulled 2, Lee pulled 7, Tintin pulled 10, Kin pulled 6, Dosu pulled 11, and lastly Zaku pulled 13. After the drawing, the board showed who would face who. All of these are random without looking at the names I put down for the numbers. First, 1 versus 12, 7 versus 9, 13 versus 15, 10 versus 2, 8 versus 3, 11 versus 4, 5 versus 6. Second, 14 versus winner of match 1. Winner of match 2 versus winner of match 3. Winner of match 4 versus winner of match 5. Winner of match 6 versus winner of match 7. Semifinals. Winner 1 versus winner 2. Winner 3 versus winner 4. Finals. Winner 1 versus winner 2. Well, now that you know the results, you are dismissed, the aged Hokage said. I'm going to skip all the team trainings as well, but as with the Chunin exams, those will be in flashbacks. Edit note: I'm a great writing, just openly admitting I'm being lazy and cutting portions out, especially since things obviously changed since Team 7 isn't in the Chunin exams. Naruto had been hiding in his father's mansion for the past week and a half because everyone from the Forest of Death wanted him dead. He took this time to train, while his clones trained a little in different categories. He had wanted to get a bite to eat. Once he got to the kitchen, he realized he was out of ramen. Damn it, I have to leave the mansion to get ramen. Naruto was as of right now terrified of leaving his place. He could fight Zabuza and people of that caliber, but right now, in the face of a few people wanting his death, he gets scared. At the ramen stand, Naruto entered his favorite place and ordered 6 ramen bowls, 2 beef, 3 miso, and 1 vegetable. There was another person at the stand who was looking at him. He tried to ignore it, but after he continued looking at him after his first 3 bowls, he got aggravated. "Who do you think you're, mister?" The man laughed a little, then responded, "I am the great Toad Sage, gee." He got cut off. Yeah. Just because you are Jiraiya of the Sannin doesn't mean you can creep on little kids. Naruto wouldn't care if this guy was somehow magically related to him. He didn't like being creeped on, even by a famous ninja. I just find you to be an interesting character, Jiraiya said, feeling like a newbie spy. Naruto was angered at this, and he flashed some killing intent at Jiraiya. So, is it because I'm a Jinchuriki, or is it because I'm an Amikaze? Naruto was seriously angered. What is it with you people? Even famous ninja have some beef with me. Well, shit, why don't I put a target on my head instead? Jiraiya was shocked the most out of that comment. He knew that Naruto knew about the Kyuubi, but not about him knowing his parentage. Brat, I don't care if you are the Jinchuriki to the Kyuubi. Naruto coughed. Kurama what? The Kyuubi has a name, damn it. His name is Kurama. Naruto said, slightly pissed. Jiraiya was at shock that Naruto also knew the Kyuubi well enough to get its name. Okay, Kurama. I also could care less that you were a Namikaze. I did train the last Namikaze now, didn't I? After Jiraiya asked that question, which was really just a statement in question form, he noticed Naruto was flaring more killing intent than he had seen in a while. It was just slightly under Hanzos. Damn it, Gaki, what did I do? Don't call me Gaki, you stupid Sannin. How about you go fuck yourself instead? Never come near me again. Naruto was furious right now. This was the Jiraiya in his father's notes. This was his godfather. He decided to just walk away before he killed someone, not caring about the people that want his body right now after what he did in the Forest of Death. Jiraiya grabbed him before he could get away. What the hell did I do? He was seriously confused. All he said was that he was his father's sensei. What the hell did you do? How about the fact that you abandoned me? What do you mean abandoned you? Jiraiya was seriously confused right now. He didn't know anything that was going on. Oh, did my father not fucking tell you that you are my godfather? You fucking abandoned me. I lived on the streets in the red light district for years until Hokage-sama could get me an apartment. And even I was in the red light district because there would be less mobs after me there. You are probably the worst godparent alive. Now get out of my face. I could care less if you were a legendary ninja. Naruto wanted to fume off some anger on him, but he didn't really have much. When it came to the Hokage, he had actually known him. He didn't know jack shit about Jiraiya. Naruto, I am sorry, but I had to protect the village. My spying is what keeps the village so strong. I would have taken you, but Sensei said it would be too dangerous. Yet another reason to hate the Hokage. He's kept more away from me than anyone could ever give me. Naruto noticed Jiraiya was being sincere, so he decided he'd give him a chance, even if he wanted to beat him up a little. If you want, you can come to my dad's mansion tomorrow, and I will talk to you there. Okay, first thing is first. I now have a favorite reader. The favorite reader is Cook563. Cook became my favorite reader because of the review he left. It basically covered how I wanted reviews to be. Okay, I know the story is short, but let's put it this way. I had written this story till the end of the invasion yesterday, but I was stupid and forgot to save. Word crashed, and I lost everything I didn't save. Everything after the brackets. So I was originally going to post yesterday. Still late. I have no excuse for that. But because of what happened, and because it was late at night, I decided I'd change it around so I can have an ending somewhere. So my chapter is short, but because I already wrote the Chunin exams, fight once I can get it done again fast. Also, I decided I went a little too fast when I originally wrote it, so I decided I'd make the finals go on for 2 to 3 chapters, and the invasion starting beginning of chapter 3 or mid chapter 3. Chapters from here on out are all going to be extended. Last note is that I no longer have a deadline set. As Cook explained to me, I rush through the chapters and don't describe stuff enough, I know, and I find my story horrible cause of that. So I decided I'm going to make the chapters at least decent to my standards before I post them. So that means my uploads will be any time between one day. It's possible when I have ideas I can write no problem. And a month, I'll make sure that I never go over a month, and I'll try to make sure I upload within a range of 2 weeks. Winner of first versus winner of second. Winner of third versus winner of fourth. Winner of fifth versus winner of sixth. Winner of seventh versus winner of eighth. Winner of ninth versus first. Second versus third. Fourth versus fifth. Basically, just keep going downwards. I'm sorry about that. Disclaimer, I don't own anything Naruto related. Arena. It was the Chunin exam finals day. Everyone who had bought a ticket were getting into their seats. The proctor for the finals, Hey Gecko, was standing in the middle of the arena. All the others whom had done some work with the Chunin exams got to get good standing areas to watch, and Naruto had somehow gotten to watch directly where the participants were standing, so he got to talk with his friends in between the matches. The first matchup was about to start. It would be between Ino and Shikamaru. Shika just thought this whole thing was troublesome because he didn't want to participate, but he knew if he didn't at least fight, his mother would scold him. Also, he felt that fighting a girl was even more troublesome. Ino was underestimating Shikamaru, even though they are on the same team. She knew he was smart, but she would soon see that even she didn't realize how smart he was. Hate decided it was time for the matches to start. Hello, and welcome everyone to this year's Chunin exams. He had a bad cough after saying that, we have some good competitions for you. So without further ado, the first matchup will start. May Ino Yamanaka and Shikamaru Nara please come to the middle of the stadium. With that, both Ino and Shikamaru went down to the stadium, and Ino was first to say something. Shika, you're going down, she said with a teasing smile. Troublesome blonde, he muttered. Okay, are both contestants ready? Hade asked, and when he received a nod from both ends, he said, begin. Both Ino and Shikamaru jumped away. Shikamaru took cover behind a tree, and Ino stood near the wall, both thinking of a way to get the other. Shikamaru and Ino both knew each other's techniques, so Shika knew Ino would try to capture him with her mind transfer jutsu, and Ino knew that Shika would try to catch her with his shadow possession jutsu. The crowds of the stadium were all booing at this performance. Neither was trying to attack the other. After a while, Ino got tired of the boos, so she took a few kunai out and threw them at the general area of where Shikamaru was. He suddenly started running, and Ino smiled at this, because she had been training alone on poisons, so she took out a poison from the poisons she carried and threw it to where she knew Shikamaru would run. When the bottle it was in broke, the poison turned to a mist, and Shikamaru knew he had to think of something quick. He saw a rock about his size near Ino, so he substituted with it and caught Ino in his shadow possession jutsu. Ino, do you give up? Shika asked. I don't want to have to hurt my own teammate, so just give up. Ino didn't expect anything like. She knew she was beat and didn't like it. She thought her poison would work. It was supposed to knock the person out. Yeah, Proctor, I give up. By verbal surrender, Winner is Shikora, Hate announced, and not many cheered, but some did. A lot were complaining about there being no action, but most Jonin that were watching were actually impressed at the details the plans had. There may have only been a few moves made, but they were all planned out, and it seemed that had they not known each other's styles, the fight would have lasted longer. Both went up to the stands with the rest of the participants. Up at the stands. Nice job, Shika. Good win, Naruto said with a thumbs up and a smile. Also, Ino, you did good. Where did you learn to use poisons? Ino was in a way shocked that Naruto would give a compliment to her, even if it was small, after she lost. Well, working in my family's flower shop has its perks because I need to know what every flower there does. So learning poisons just comes naturally to me. Well, let's see the next match, Naruto said, eagerly ready to watch it. Arena grounds. Will Rock Lee and Yoroi Akato please come to the field? Hate said. And right after he finished that sentence, Lee was on there. Hate was honestly impressed with the speed that parallels to most fresh Jonin. Yoroi just walked down to the arena, acting like no one was waiting for the match. He was thinking about how easy this matchup would be, because all he had to do was touch his opponent and he could steal all of his chakra, thus winning, and maybe getting some praise from Orochimaru. It is very unyouthful for you to come down so slow when we have many important people here to watch us, like Hokage-sama, Kazuke-sama, and Daimyo-sama. Lee was going to show his youth to everyone today. He knew that once they saw his youth that they'd achieve to become as youthful as him. Exactly like how he worked hard to gain his flames of youth after meeting his sensei, Mado Guy. Okay, a lot of you might not like this, but some names will go last name first, while others will go first name last. I'm going by what sounds better. So for Lee, Rock Lee sounds better than Lee Rock, so yes, sorry about that. Hate was hoping that this Lee kid wouldn't become as bad as his sensei when it came to youthfulness. Okay, if both participants are ready, begin. Hate announced the start of the second match. Lee decided to start with his youthfulness by running at Yoroi and kicking him in the chin. Yoroi got sent flying a good distance away by that kick, but quickly got up and cracked his neck, then got into a taijutsu stance. So, you want to do taijutsu? Yoroi asked. Well, let's see what he got you, runt. How very youthful, Lee said with a smile. Yoroi charged at Lee, but Lee managed to jump away with Yoroi only barely touching Lee's foot. At this, Yoroi cracked a smile that was hidden by his mask. He knew that a simple touch like that drains chakra, although minimal amounts. He was honestly mildly shocked to see Lee moving at his normal speed, even though he had a small bit of chakra drained from him. Yoroi was almost completely sure that Lee's speed came with pumping chakra to his muscles. While Yoroi was in thought, Lee appeared behind him and punched him in the back, but Yoroi managed to grab Lee's legs in the process, draining him of his chakra. Lee escaped his grip after a few seconds and went away a few steps, giving his opponent a chance to get up, because it was unyouthful to attack a comrade while he was down. Had it been an enemy ninja, he wouldn't have any problems with attacking him. Yoroi was even more shocked right now. How the hell did Lee seem not to be affected by him draining his chakra? Runt, how are you still moving at full speed? Yoroi asked in a grunt. I've drained at least half of your chakra, so there's no way you could keep enhancing your speed using chakra. Ah, but my most youthful comrade, I cannot use nin or jinjutsu. I was born with a defect that made it impossible for me to use chakra. So I've sworn that I'd become the most youthful taijutsu master the Elemental Nations has ever seen. Lee said. Guy was up watching, telling all the other Genin senseis about how youthful his student was. The rest of the ninja watching, Jonin and Up, I'd like to mention, were all thinking that the Lee kid was retarded. There's never been a good ninja who couldn't use chakra. Lee then finished the match with a kick to Yoroi's neck once Yoroi stood up. Winner by knockout, Rock Lee. Hayden announced. You did well, my youthful student, Guy said, appearingly coming out of nowhere. Up at the stands. Great work, bushy brows. Naruto greeted him, even though he really didn't know him. Thank you, Ninja-san. Don't forget Naruto and Lee never met. Lee said, it's really unyouthful of me to not know who you are. May you tell me who you may be? Naruto realized he just congratulated someone he didn't even know, so he knew he'd have to introduce himself. And since his heritage would be told to everyone after this, he decided he'd use his full name. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Lee just smiled. Well, it seems that you're a very youthful person, Naruto-san. Naruto found it sort of funny that Lee didn't overreact about him, saying Namikaze. It seemed as if he didn't even notice. Well, bushy brows, I'll see you around. With that, Naruto left Lee alone, and as he left, his teammates Niji and Tenten approached him. Lee, who was it you were talking with? Niji asked. Lee was too busy thinking of youth. He could barely remember the Chunin's name, but he found it unyouthful to forget such a youthful character's name. So he used all of his youth to remember it. He was a very youthful person. His name was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The first person to say anything was Tenten. I recall my father telling me him, along with Sasuke Uchiha, became Chunin shortly before these exams. They got it by field promotion from a C rank mission turn a rank. Only thing I don't get it why he added Namikaze to his name. He's from the class before us, and my father told me his name was Naruto Uzumaki. Nothing else. Niji just stood shocked. His teammates asked what was wrong. Well, Tenten did while Lee just was saying that he looked unyouthful. There's only one person in recent Konoha history with that same last name. Our fourth, well, Kankuro of the Kof Desert. And Kabuto Yakushi come asterisk cough asterisk down to begin the next fight. Asterisk cough asterisk, Cade asked. Kankuro walked down and appeared at the center of the stadium. Kabuto just got down and let everyone wait for him to get to the center. I forfeit. I couldn't beat that puppet. Kankuro was shocked. No one had ever noticed that he entered battles with his puppets. He actually wanted to get some action going, but because of his Kabuto forfeiting, he couldn't get that. Yet. By means of forfeit, Kof Kankuro of the Desert, Hate, announced the winner. Will Tenten and Temari of the Desert please come down to begin the next fight? Both of them appeared in the middle of the arena at the same time, surprisingly. Are both of you ready? With a nod, he continued on begin. Right at the call for the start of the match, both girls leaped backwards. Tenten decided to start it. She threw a few kunai and shuriken at Temari, but Temari dodged them all with ease. Nice evasion skills, Tenten said, which got a response of thanks, nice throw. But now it's my turn. She did some hand seals and called out sickle weasel jutsu. The wind then headed towards Tenten's direction. Tenten knew she couldn't avoid getting hit with it, so she jumped away to lessen the impact. Temari's jutsu hit Tenten's whole right side and gave her a few cuts on her thigh, lower stomach, and shoulder, but Tenten wasn't out just yet. Twin rising dragons came the shout from Tenten, and with it came hundreds of shuriken, kunai, a few senbon, and the odd katanas and tantos from the two scrolls Tintin unraveled. Temari did a good job at dodging most of the weapons thrown at her, but she couldn't dodge everything, and she was very pissed that she only wore mesh under what she wore because it meant she had no impact protection. Temari thought she was done getting hit by the weaponry, but then she noticed the ninja wire attached to them all. She knew she would be ended right now if she didn't use the trick she was going to use later on now. Summoning Jutsu, Whirlwind Dance, and with that a weasel appeared, and right away, without any order, it grabbed Temari and got her out of the chaos that was coming at her. Thank you, Kimatari. You saved me there. Tintin couldn't believe what she had just seen. A genin with a summoning contract, and one of the two top Suna contracts if what she read was true. Where did you get a contract from? Temari just smirked at this perks of being a Kage's daughter. And with that, she announced, my fan is now at 3 stars. This match is over cutting Whirlwind. She thought with that she would win, because that was one of her best attacks, and it could take out some Chunin. Tintin managed to avoid the big blow, but there were some of her kunai that were on the ground that pierced her stomach and thigh. She took more damage than she expected to take in this match, and she knew she was going to lose, but she just wanted to show enough in hopes of a promotion. She took out the kunai from her stomach and thigh and spat out a little blood. I'm glad I get to fight you. You're a very strong ninja. You aren't that bad either, but this match is over. Kamatari never desummoned. Can someone give me the correct term for that? Himself, that's because he's right behind you. And one wrong move he'll go for the kill, surrender. Tintin looked behind her and saw what Temari said was true. She had lost Proctor I forfeit. Winner by verbal surrender Temari from Suna. Thanks, Kamatari. I'll catch up to you sometime. And with that, he desummoned himself. Good fight. Up at the stands, Niji was disappointed. She was fated to lose, he announced. But Niji, Tintin's flames of youth shined brightly, Lee said. Yet fate decreed her as the loser. Middle of the arena. Will Kiba of Kof Konoha and Kofkin of Odo please come down to Kof the arena? Hate was actually interested in this match. There wasn't much information on the Sound Village, and he was going to do a spying session on some Sand Ninja to see if they knew anything about sound, but the Hokage canceled that mission last second. He wanted to see what Odo Genin could bring, so he could imagine what their elites would do. Kiba tried to make a grand entrance, but he tripped when jumping off of the railings. With Tsum and Hannah. Damn it, Kiba, was the thought from both ladies. Mom, if anyone asks, I don't know who Kiba is, Hannah said. Kiba who? Was the reply she got. Are both Kof contestants ready? With a nod from both Kin and Kiba, he announced the beginning of the match. Kiba charged forward without even thinking. He almost caught Kin off guard because she didn't expect such a foolish move. She knew she'd have to set up her trap fast because with this guy's stupid charging, she wouldn't be able to set it up accurately the way she had originally planned. She decided since he wouldn't even notice anything, she'd start throwing random senbon with a bell and ninja wire on them and make it look like she was aiming for him to get to the right area, because if she didn't, she'd lose this fight since she knew she sucked at taijutsu, and this Kiba kid seems to prefer taijutsu. Man beast clone, Kiba yelled out and then ran behind Kin, Fong over Fong. Kin thought it was only Kiba in that sphere coming towards her, so she jumped to the left and right as she did that, it split into two. One hit her, and she knew she would lose unless she could get her Jinjutsu into effect. Kiba looked around to find his partner, Akamaru. He couldn't find him, and he was going to go crazy. His best friend couldn't have just disappeared. After what seemed like an eternity of looking, he spotted a downed Kin. I could have swore I missed her. He then saw Akamaru beside her. Hey boy, what happened to her? Arf arf, Akamaru yipped happily. You mean you got her by splitting off from me? With a nod, Kiba smiled. Good job, boy. Right after he said that, he heard a very faint ding and saw Akamaru looking at him like something was wrong. After that, Kiba blacked out for a second. Winter cough of hate was cut off when Akamaru bit his hand. He realized that what the little pup was trying to say was that he wasn't going to let this fight end until he was down as well. With that, Hate nodded his head, approving the continuation of the match. Akamaru jumped up and pissed all over Kin, and she was disgusted. She was going to kill this dog. She kept moving back and throwing Simban, which Akamaru was dodging all of. Then she hit the wall behind her and knew she had to kill this dog now. Right when she threw another Simban, Akamaru pissed in her eyes, making her lose vision. Then he leaped on her and started biting on her arm. She tried to swing him off of her arm, but that made him go into flight for a second before he caught on her shoulder. She knew she had to give up because her Jinjutsu didn't seem to affect this much. I surrender, Kin said, knowing her life was now in vain. Winner of Cough the match, Kiba Cough Inuzuka, Hade announced, and the crowd were honestly in confusion about what had just happened. Up at the stands. What the hell? Ino shouted, what the hell just happened? How did that Baka win, even though he was knocked out? Ino was frustrated, not because Kiba won, but because Kiba won and she lost. It's such a drag. He gets to sleep on the field, and I have to stay up waiting for my next match. Naruto then popped in out of nowhere. Kiba won because Akamaru is considered a weapon, and if you have a weapon that can win a fight, even when you are downed, the fight is not over. Damn it, it's still not fair. Ino huffed, then crossed her arms over her chest, showing that she was really ticked off. Up in the Kage booth. Interesting match, wasn't it, Saru Tobidano? The Kazekage asked. Very, I wouldn't have expected that outcome, the Hokage responded, but I can't promote young Kiba for what Akamaru did.